Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
This is the broken part. The thread, it sort of balances.
If you take this and then tilt it up.
Yeah.
I had to deal with that last
Sorry,
week.
this big title, I'm pumped to...
I was trying to think of all sorts. Hang on, I'm going to turn the mic off. But I honestly had too much respect for it. I had too much respect. I was thinking
somebody does.
I was trying to think of all sorts of stuff. I'd be like, oh look, here's like, I don't know, a picture of like my pants down like I'm taking a shit and the title's beside me or something. Like too much respect.
OJ, my boy.
Lenny.
Troll.
How's your poop?
This is a solid.
Come out okay?
Fucking 2:30 in the morning poop, but
Not. I was
You
gonna
started
say,
that at 2:30, eh? So you do full 30 minutes then?
first one.
I woke up at 2:30, took a shower, and then went to
Okay.
shit.
First one here, last one downstairs. 'Cause he's lives here actually.
That's all right. That's the case though. I used to live a block away from my school, and I was always the last one to get to school because you have time to fuck with, and then you overdo it sometimes.
Yeah, way she goes.
No, I was planning for the, stream starting soon message. Planning for that.
No, that doesn't count as part of the 24.
What? Yes, it does.
You guys stream till 3:13
The stream
now.
is on, baby.
OJ has to stay till 3:09, and you have to stay till 3:16. Or you don't, because you're not an official Extra Life money raiser.
That's
true.
right. So
That's
I
a
can do
good
whatever
point.
the fuck I want.
You're
Strong move.
And pour this water all over this fucking setup.
Yeah.
And end this shit right now.
Tube it.
If you were gonna pour water over it, this would be the time.
We were talking about Matt Eads' Hail Mary of all Hail Mary messages at 9:30 being like, oh, what about 4 o'clock? Just to see if anyone was still awake that responded. Be like, yep, we're starting at 4. But no.
That would have been very disappointing, having my alarm go
And
off
then,
at
yeah.
2:30 and being like,
But-
oh.
At the same time, I probably very easily could have just gone right back to sleep.
I was thinking it the whole night as we're going through, because I'm like, well, getting up at 3 sort of blows. Getting up at 4 is a lot better. Going to bed at 2, going to bed at 3 is pretty much the same thing.
I was trying to remember what we did last year. Did we do this last
I think
year?
we did this last
either.
year,
Yeah, we
and I
did the
think we
exact same
also
thing.
came to the same consensus probably of like, we should probably just push it back 1 hour. If we did like 4, that makes a lot of sense.
I think we get saved because daylight savings time
does
is this
help.
year.
Yeah,
It's every year.
it's every year.
Every year this thing happens.
Is it the same
Yeah.
week? But it's not Extra Life weekend, is it?
It was last
It
year.
was last
It
year.
happened,
For the 2
last
years
year,
we
'cause I
have
was
done it,
confused.
yeah.
Oh shit, I'm confused now.
24 hours. 24 hours time.
So
not,
we're gonna be done
not 25, not till 3 o'clock.
13 new time.
Or
is
is
when
it
we'll be
2?
done.
Because the
Or
clock
2, right? 2.
two,
Roll
yeah.
back. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
right.
that's why I thought we should have started
Yes.
1 at 4. Next year, we'll remember.
I was trying to
make
explain
any
why
sense.
we start at 3 in the morning to people, and
impossible.
I'm like, well, I mean, like, then at the end, then you can just go to sleep and then just kind of wake up at a kind of
You're
regular time,
'Cause
and
I
you
did
still
it 10
kind of have a
o'clock
day.
one,
right back
where like
into
you go 10 a.m. Saturday to 10 a.m. Sunday.
and sleep the
But
whole
then,
day.
but then you're fucked because you won't be able to sleep that night, and then Monday comes around, so you have to take like a small sleep, and then you're
that's-
even more fucked when you wake up Sunday afternoon after 3 hours sleep.
That's what it is, right? Like, Sunday
This way
is
you
kind
get-
of a normal
You get a
day.
full night's sleep. You sleep in a little later than maybe you normally do, but at least you can still get
Yeah.
back to it Sunday night.
Yeah.
Like, this is the way to do it, but you're right. Maybe an hour's difference would make.
I think 1 extra
world.
hour of sleep leading up to it is way more key than 1 extra hour of sleep after. Because after's after. Who cares what after?
Especially as a dude who works till 7.
Yes.
It's pretty tough
Yes.
to just go home and shut the old dome
It was
down.
impossible. I was just like, well, let's start this show. What do you say? All right, everybody, we're going to start a podcast here. So the plan is to do the podcast, and then we're going to pick our mics up and head over there. So the stream, because we only have 1 Ethernet cable, will go down quickly and come back up. If any, there's no, and we only have the 1 camera because 1's in the other room. If anyone donates, or if anyone comes up looking to donate, it is talkingreckless.com/extra. As soon as the other computer's on, the bot will take care of all that. And if anybody pops by, please tell them we're doing this thing and we don't look at the chat all that much.
Apparently, the official one starts at 2 p.m., and that is ridiculous.
Which one can suck my...
We're the goddamn official one.
Yeah, 2 p.m. would be bad. Let's start the show. Hey, it's episode 248 of the Talking Reckless podcast. My name's Matt Eads. Kevin Byers here.
In person.
In person, Oliver Aguilar's here.
So the official one is 2 p.m. Saturday, right?
The official. Yes, that's right. The official.
Talking Reckless podcast.
So we'll be 12 hours into ours.
podcast. Yeah.
And in the spirit of things, like we do it also Saturday. We're starting at 3 o'clock our time.
Extra Life, you're talking about.
Yeah.
I guess the official is 2 p.m. Saturday.
Couldn't we just like? I guess it worked out this year, but couldn't we have just amended it so that? I think it was who was it? It was Brando that was kind of.
Well, I
iffy
mean,
about things.
we could put like an 11-hour delay on our stream, and then it'll start at 2 p.m.
Next year, yeah.
Yeah.
We're actually going to record 2 extra lives this year.
Yeah.
So buckle up, Warren Barris.
Back to back. Here we go.
It's 3 in the morning right now as we're recording. This is the very start of Extra Life. It will, by the time you hear this on iTunes, it will have happened.
And we will all hate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now,
Yeah.
we're okay.
Probably less than, well, I mean, y'all showed up late. And like,
Yeah,
that was starting things off on a...
I saw that message and I'm like, fuck, here we
How,
go. Here we go.
How we feeling? How was the sleep? How'd we do? How many
shitty,
hours?
Terrible. Last time I looked at the clock was 9:30, so probably 4.5.
I was around that time too.
Yeah.
I went to bed at 8, and for the first hour and a bit, I was like falling asleep for 5 minutes and then waking up kind of thing, trying to get into the sleep mode. But after that, I passed out. Next thing I knew, my alarm was going off.
After that, you got into sleep mode.
Got into sleep mode.
It's one of the most confusing alarms ever too.
Yeah.
You're just like, what is happening? What the fuck is going on?
Is that the fire? Is fire?
And like because even in the wintertime, I don't wake up usually on a normal day until like 10:30, 11 o'clock. So like I never wake up when it's dark out.
This is
I'm
like-
just like, oh god, what fucking year is it right now?
This is normally when you and I, Warren, are like going to bed.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right,
Totally.
maybe a little earlier than this, but like right around here.
It's not so bad because like whenever I go on a trip, I schedule my flight for early in the morning. So I'm kind of used. Well, I shouldn't say used to, but I have done
travel
shit.
so
I have
much.
done shit like this multiple times a year, kind of thing. So
As a globe trotter.
Yes. Quite posh. How'd you sleep, OJ?
Midnight to about 1:45.
Jesus.
What?
Wow. And you famously are Mr. Fall Asleep at the end of,
Yeah.
of these things. Yeah.
It was cousin's birthday, so Amber and I went out for a bit. I stayed out for a couple hours and decided to go home early.
Did you at least get them all to come today and donate to our Extra Life thing, hopefully?
I spread the word. I'm like, you guys, hey, try to remember, but
It's for the
Help them out.
kids.
it's for the kids. You guys all have kids.
Lenny, my boy.
Did you have any drinks at all? Like a beer or two to get you maybe a little
I had one.
tired? Did it work or did it not?
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I cut off the party at 11. No, what did I just say? Yeah, 11. And then I got home at about 11:30, packed up all my shit, and then laid down for a little bit of a nap. I
Yeah.
suppose that is.
Sucks.
That's okay.
We'll be all right.
We'll be okay.
Yeah. Yep.
There's no title on the line, so we need to have a cat nap here and there. We'll
No
just draw
title
shit
on
on
the
your face. And we're
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Or you just
There'll be
sneak
some sort of
upstairs, go sleep on one of those couches upstairs.
I'll have some like cat whiskers by the end of the thing.
Yep,
And
that'll
a
be the
big
worst
old-
stuff. Okay, yeah.
That was that underlying thing last year. Like anytime somebody got to take a shit, we're like,
Hey.
he hit 6 minutes now. Somebody's gonna have to go in there and have a look.
I was like stereotypical, just like got into bed. Oh, okay, I'm too hot. Blankets off. Now I'm cold. Blankets on. Now I gotta pee. Get up and pee. Now I'm thirsty. Get up and do a thing. Like now I think I hear some water dripping. I'm gonna go check the pipes. Like just fucking everything. Everything. Just couldn't. It was vintage Eads. And then I'm like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. I'm fucked now. And here we are.
See, I did okay falling asleep, but the same as Kev, I had a rough time staying asleep. Like I was doing the 20 minutes and then wake up, fucking toss around for a bit, fall back asleep. Brando was gaming with our buddy, so every now and then I just hear like, "Oh, look out!" And he's like right in the room beside me. So
That's the way she goes.
it is what it is. We here, we made it.
Yeah, hell yeah. We got a heck of a we had a heck of an Extra Life planned. Oliver and I are gonna play all Snake Eater, which I'm actually super stoked for.
Me too.
been
I
a
booted it
long-ass
up
time.
just to see.
I-
and
like-
the intro music, I'm like,
See, that's all I know from that.
I didn't go to watch that, but
late-
it's
it's a
the
late.
title screen music.
So it's a Metal Gear. I mean, this will already have been played, I guess, by the
Yeah.
time this comes out. But what is this game?
It's Metal Gear 3. It's the
Okay.
third Metal Gear Solid game. One of
And
the
this
best.
came out when?
2001.
So it's old.
PS.
We talking like triangle boobs graphics?
No.
No.
PS2 graphics.
Okay,
So,
all right.
and like at the time it was like, oh my god, this
That
is
was
the
really good.
greatest looking game.
And I don't know if it's just because it's the HD version that we'll be playing or have had played, but it still holds up. It actually looks really good.
I think it'd be a good thing for us as a podcast, for all four of us to just sit there and all play Snake Eater
yeah.
together.
Is it like couch co-op or like
Nope.
one guy's playing
One-
and the rest
one
are
guy's
just
playing.
like, go do that?
Yeah, one guy is playing
Okay, all right.
the parts of the game. There's actually, I would say Snake Eater probably has the most gameplay of any Metal Gear -5.
Why?
That's quite the
Maybe.
Why is it the best? Is there like a big swerve mindfuck or something in it, or is it just the game and overall?
It's a different. It was a prequel that and it looked at a character that you had only ever heard about in legend.
Yeah.
And it was big. The man who trained Snake, Snake's mentor.
This is basically the genesis of the series. Like this is like if it's on a linear timeline, this is the
Starting
very
point.
beginning.
Yeah, until Death Stranding comes out.
In the beginning, Big Boss created Snake.
It's boss beget
And Snake
big boss.
was good.
The seventh day.
Big boss
So
beget his sons.
it's a big ladder is where the Snake Eater song is because you climb
It comes.
this ladder or
It
something?
comes back. It comes back. It's a James Bond. You'll see. It's like a James. It's very James Bond
Yeah.
intro of like snakes all wrapping around ladies and. Oh yeah, we've listened to that song every single day for more than it's like 168 days on the stream or whatever. Plus like the 55 before that. We're getting close to a full year of Snake Eater.
That's nothing wrong with that.
It's a great game.
We're all better
It's a very
for
good
it.
game.
There's a weird thing where if you have only played Metal Gear 1 and 2 and then you open up Snake Eater and you're like, wait a minute, Big Boss looks like and sounds identical to Solid Snake, what is happening? And I sort of still haven't got over it. It should have been who is he in 5?
Kiefer.
Kiefer? Should have been Kiefer the whole time, damn it.
A little bit of insight when I sometimes pop into your stream and it's after 3 o'clock Mountain Time. It's because I'm on like a 4 or 5 song sweep that I just have some time to fuck around. So like I'll occasionally pop in there and you'll be wrapping it up. Maybe usually done around 6 o'clock our time usually.
Yeah, something like that.
So like that's like we got 1 hour left in the show sort of thing. And like I have to change my audio source on my headphones so that I can hear it because we don't have speakers on our computers individually. So I do that and I'll be sitting there and I'll like Snake Eater will come on and I'll start like singing it. And Toby's like, "What the fuck are you like?" Because we're not obviously not playing Snake Eater. We're not
mouthing
singing
along.
singing this song.
thrill.
Yeah, and
What
he's
a
like,
goddamn
"What
thrill.
the fuck are you doing right now?" Jesus,
Get him in. Get him in. We'll work on that young man. He's a beaut. I say hi, Toby. I say, hey, Tobes, every day.
He's a big fan of that.
Yeah.
He likes that.
Does he?
No.
Good.
Yeah, and the
I
fact
hope-
that there's the rest of the stream always does it too.
Yeah. It's 3. This is hard this early in the morning.
Keep it going.
Did you guys
Keep
play,
rolling.
Did you guys play anything else? Let's talk about everyone's
Tell me.
fucking escapades getting here.
Oh.
My truck door froze open, which is a great thing to have happen. As like open fine, everything ready to go to close. It's like conk, like as though like the latch is down almost. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Check out the latches, everything's fine. Tried slamming it, didn't work. Got out, tried slamming from the outside, didn't work. Tried like crawling through and pulled, didn't work. Couldn't force the thing. Tried for like 10 minutes. Tried to like machine gun, like slam. Tried every form of slam you can imagine. And then eventually had to go over to the other side and look at like the configuration of the latch and stick a key in and pry a thing up. And
So like the catch.
yeah,
was, like stuck open.
it was like stuck
wouldn't-
down or something. Like it was just like dunk and would bounce right off.
Did you like lock your door and then try to close it
Yeah.
with the door
Oh yeah.
locked?
No, I tried everything. The latch was like physically. Once I got down there, I could see where like it had got a little stuck, and every time I had slammed it, got it more stuck. Like, well, good thing we.
Did it get to the point where you were like considering, I could probably drive just holding on to this
100%.
door?
100%. Yeah, I was actually like trying to figure out the button combination to get my interior lights to turn off with the door open, so that I could drive with that door open.
And no one would know.
And no one would know. Yeah, because it's like it was like 240, and I'm like, this is perfect. This is perfect, is what it is.
At about 2:40, my time.
As I'm slamming my door.
As you're slamming
the
your
scene
door.
cuts to Sherwood Park.
Pull back like Grand Theft Auto style.
And there's a car pulled up to the McDonald's speaker, and it's not like the driver's door or window, it's the back window, and you can see a girl.
Oh, yeah.
Can I have like 10 cheeseburgers and like 100 chicken McNuggets, please?
It's weird coming down White Avenue and people are like walking out of bars like, Lenny, my boy! Like just drunk as shit. And I'm like, yep, just going to do a 24 hours of video games.
Just waking up.
Cops are pulling people over on the old paddy wagon and yeah.
Amber just got home from the bar.
Yeah?
Look at that.
Look at that.
Hey, yeah. Yeah, see? There
Oliver's
she
wife
goes.
Amber just got home.
I thought she was gonna be. We were gonna cross paths at home, but apparently she stopped off for Chinese food.
Smart.
That's a veteran move.
smart.
Definitely
Yeah,
a good move.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jealous
Drunk
of her.
Chinese food is the way to do it.
You think we guys could get some like Uber Eats Chinese food at this hour?
Probably. Yeah.
Two?
Probably.
At two? At three? I
They
don't
don't
think
close.
so.
24 hours, baby.
Yeah, there's a lot of 24-hour Chinese places.
Is that
Whether or
true?
not, oh yeah,
They're probably not the best, but
there's
they exist.
there's one just off White Ave. Actually, I don't know if they're actually still open. I do remember going into a Chinese place at like 4 a.m. one time.
Let's take some of this legal weed and go stand outside this buffet and
Yeah,
combine the two. Not since Oreos met milk has a match been so made in heaven.
I was a little worried when I left because yesterday we had lots of the traffic stuff obviously on our show because it fucking snowed a fuck ton yesterday. And one of the biggest issue spots was I can't think of the street names right now. The road from the White Mud up the hill.
Fox.
Yeah.
Fox Drive.
That it was fucked. That like buses couldn't get up the hill. And it like crossed the median.
I thought it.
And cars were all over the place. And I was like, fuck, if that thing's still fucked, I'm going to be like the only guy driving up there at 2:30 in the morning. And who the fuck's going to help me?
Yeah.
So I like got a good run at it. And I'm like, just fucking keep going no matter. It wasn't that bad, but
Yeah, it was a little icy around my part. Not bad.
it's just like crunchy ice now. Like,
the tater truck yesterday that took out the highway.
outstanding.
Oh, I heard about that. I actually heard that on your show. It was like
flipped and flipped and a whole bunch of potatoes spilled on. They just shut down like the QE2, which is like the main ass highway across all of Alberta. Shut down because there's a bunch of spuds all over
That
there.
was so good.
Well, the unfortunate thing is that somebody texted in and was like, "Yeah, I just drove past it," and like kind of shattered my vision of it because they were all in like bags.
bags.
Oh.
They weren't. I thought they were individual
Yeah,
potatoes.
so did
everywhere.
I.
shit ton of potatoes
Yeah, I
on the
was-
road.
I was gonna say if it's just potatoes on the road, I mean,
Go fucking hook
what
ourselves
kind
up.
of damage is that gonna do to your car if you like go over those potatoes at like $1.20?
Well, I think
Just start spinning.
the problem is if the semi in front of you kicks one back at you.
Yeah,
that might be a bit of an issue.
200 miles an hour of potato coming straight at your window.
It's doing some damage.
All in bags. That's so disappointing. I was imagining this like semi jackknives or whatever,
Just-
and just a tidal wave of potatoes.
Cars buried in potatoes.
Old truck driver screaming, "My taters!" Ah! Oh man, you guys. What else you want to talk about? We got nothing but time. Let's do a 10-hour podcast.
Yeah, sure.
I brought a tabletop role playing game today that I don't know if we'll actually get around to playing, but it sounds neat.
What's the gist of it? It's a bear
You want me to read it?
heist.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. It's a little 2-pager.
Honey Heist.
It's a Honey Heist. Yeah, this is a game by Grant Howitt. It is free. I think it's free. I typed Honey Heist into Google, and the first thing that came up was a free PDF.
Is that the game? Like
This
that's
is the game. Yeah, this is the game. All right, everyone makes a bear, and they roll some stats for them. It's HoneyCon 2017. You're going to undertake the greatest heist the world has ever seen. 2 things. 1, you have a complex plan that requires precise timing.
Cue.
2,
Wait, we have to cue the Ocean's 11 music.
2, you are a goddamn bear. You have
The other shoe drops.
I think you have 3 stats. You have 2 stats. Frustration. And I don't know. I'll have to read through this. Basically,
Isn't it like bear?
you are a bear. You are a bear, and you're breaking into HoneyCon, and you want to steal the honey. And
So-
then you rolled a bunch of shit that is like the honey's defended by armed guards around the honey.
So hold on, are you like a a human type bear,
Like a cartoon bear that can speak, or are we
yeah,
actually
or like
bears?
bear-ass bears.
I'm glad you asked. Name your bear if you want. You're not a talking bear per se, but you can sort of mangle human speech through your bare mouth. Maybe? Yeah, exactly.
So we can pick whatever kind of bear we want.
Yeah, you.
Like, I can be a panda. If
There's
I
some
wanted
things on there you roll. Yeah, and
to.
there's
Use fucking bamboo. I'll fuck you up for it.
that's actually the I believe. I keep reaching for the sheet. I believe the panda special ability is eat anything that looks like bamboo.
That's dibs.
Yeah. Yeah, the grizzly can terrify, the polar bear can swim, the black bear can climb, the sun bear can sense honey,
Sun bear.
Sun bear.
and the honey
Jeez.
badger's skill just says carnage. I don't know. No more explanation. I think this would be real fun. We should maybe try to play this a little later. We'll see how it goes. Sleep deprived.
Sure.
Yeah, sleep deprived anything is going to be great.
Yeah.
Just
need
as good
a-
as being drunk at that point.
Yeah. Let's. Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to?
Especially, like, you could do it this year, because if you pass out,
Yeah, we're
then...
thinking about it here.
Oh, all right.
the
thinking
bold,
about-
tall claim of getting quote super smashed this extra life
I don't remember ever saying that.
last year.
You did. Yeah.
Well,
Not
last year.
about this
I
year.
mean,
Yes,
last.
yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes.
that's a year ago.
Yeah, but the title was on the line, and we talked you back from the ledge. And now that we're unshackled from
yeah, that's right.
the competition,
And
As soon as this podcast is out, I'm going to the porch.
I might today. I don't know. We'll see
Not,
how
not
it goes.
first thing. Eventually.
I'm
for me.
a first thing. It's just like a normal day for me now. I'm up. I'm good to go.
Sure.
Towards the
I just-
latter half of the 24, it'll start to suck ass. But like,
I burn out sometimes, and that's when I get really tired.
That's fair.
So if
Yeah.
I can wait till the second half and then do it, then I'm just closer to sleeping anyway. So
never porch against the grain.
that's right.
Never.
Go with it. Yeah. I had a comment, but I'm gonna leave it.
Oh.
At that.
Okay. Video games. You guys want to talk a little bit about Red Dead?
Talk a
Now
lot
that
about
we've
Red Dead.
played a bunch more
Who's
of
played
it.
it? Have you played it yet?
I played 2 hours of it,
I played it.
and
I'm
all of
played.
you guys.
Oh,
played.
right. Then you gave it to him, right?
Yeah.
That's what you said on the last week
Yep.
podcast. Yeah.
Let's
But
talk
that's
to-
okay.
Let's talk to
Talk
Kev.
openly. I'm really
Sorry.
interested. I'm really interested.
Let's
So
talk.
hit me.
All right. What do you want to know?
Tell me if you're liking it, Kevin.
All right. It took me about 8 hours, eight and a bit. I don't really know how long I've put into it so far, but coming to the tail end of however many hours I've put into it, I'm slowly starting to like it.
Because at the beginning, you weren't even hot for this game at all.
No, I knew nothing about it. The characters, none of the backstory, none of that
played the
matters
first
to me. I did not play the first one. I do not particularly care about cowboys. Being a cowboy bandit is also like the opposite of what I view as a cowboy should be in my mind. Like a cowboy should
Honorable.
be honorable. Exactly.
Magnificent selling.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
hell yeah,
yes.
brother. Hell yeah.
Gentlemen, just tip your hat to
Yeah,
the ladies.
but I even started to do like the honorable playthrough in this game, like make.
Sorry.
What was that? But every decision I made, it seemed like the game was trying to force me to the evil side of things. It's like very, very early after I got out of the winter section of the game. You go to the first town. One of the first things that happened was a couple O'Driscolls were beating the shit out of some dude for no reason, so I interfered. I interfered a little too slow, so the guy ended up dying.
Well,
Been there.
But I beat the O'Driscolls to death. No problem. Everybody seemed to be completely fine with that. I thought to myself, well, I'm an honorable cowboy. I'm not going to leave this poor man who just got beat to death in the middle of nowhere just to rot. So I figured to myself, I'll pick up his body. I'll move him someplace a little more noble, a little more respectable for this fallen comrade of mine. As soon as I picked up the body,
That's grave robbing, mister!
that's a fucking crime.
Every time. Every time. Never touch or loot or stand near a body that someone... If you're just standing near a body and someone rides up, they assume you murdered them.
Yeah,
And they ride away and report the crime.
It's so frustrating, especially like right at the beginning of a playthrough, to be like, well, I guess my whole fucking playthrough is fucked. Not only that, I got arrested because I didn't.
Because... Yeah, sorry. Your whole fucking playthrough was fucked. Because...
50-hour game.
I got a $10 bounty. I've had bounties in the 4 digits.
Well, it was really demoralizing because I had like $50 to my name, and the fine was $35.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
that's
like
huge.
that's like all of my money right at the beginning of the
now,
game.
Now you know. Now you understand their what they're rallying against: the man, law, and order.
Fuck.
That's true.
Is there, and if this is a spoiler, then obviously you don't have to answer, but I haven't gotten super far into it. Are there pardons in this game?
I don't know. So if you have a really low bounty, I know you can go into the jail. You can go into the jail and just spend a night in jail, and they're like, "Okay, you're good to go." But I don't know.
I didn't even know that, so that's
I
kind
haven't
of cool.
found one. I haven't found one. I know the bounties can eventually. They don't even have a number. It's just wanted, dead or alive. Like, well, I don't know if that's a story thing or like if you ever pay that off. Or...
Wow.
To be the complete contrary to what you're doing, I decided that, like, well, I'm a fucking outlaw, so I'm gonna be a fucking asshole to everyone except in my camp. I'm nice to everyone at camp except John Marston. I am an ass to John Marston because they kind of tell you that, like,
He sucks. In
you
the
guys
beginning.
don't really get along well. Like,
Yeah.
they kind of explained that earlier, that I'm like, so every time I see him, fucking antagonize every single time.
Has Arthur ever chirped him about? Because they shut up really early that like Arthur kind of raised Jack. It turned out John was off doing whatever for a while.
He left the gang for a year or two.
Yeah, exactly. Has Arthur chirped John about like, I was more dad, or that's a John voice. I was more dad to your kidding you everywhere type of.
No, but I'm just starting to get into like Abigail's like, I'd really like to get Jack some new clothes. And I'm like, here's
Okay.
$5. Go get him something. Like, I'm starting to like taking him fishing and shit. Where you're like,
That's a great mission.
you're really stepping up as the dad here.
Isn't that a
aren't you?
great mission? Just you
Yeah.
and the boy
Yeah.
hanging out.
But like I love those moments where like that example of the O'Driscoll, like one of the ones that I had where I was riding, I think in like the Bayou Swamp area, and there's this dude who's like riding past me. Like, so when you're doing that cinematic auto ride thing, which is a hot tip from last week.
And by the way, that you have to hold on X.
You totally
At
don't.
No?
least on
No,
PlayStation.
You can let it
If,
catch.
so there, it's like if you are following someone, there are weird cases where you do, but
Yes.
if you put a destination down and press
Oh,
go,
okay.
you'll
Yeah,
go.
because I was following someone and tried the cinematic thing and released it. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck
The
is he talking about?
Follow's the only time that I've noticed too that you can't, that it doesn't work. But you still hear, like, when you're riding, it'll still be like, hey, can you give me a hand or whatever? And that's when you're just like, oh, pop out of this, let's see what's going on. So this dude is riding past me, and he's like super over exaggerated, like, oh, I need some help. And then like I like get off and turn around behind me, and dude like falls off his horse and is just like laying on the ground. So I get off, go up to him, and he's like, I'm really sick, I need you to take me into town, blah blah blah. And I like literally with my controller like looked right, looked left, and I'm like, and I just shot him. I shot him right in the head, looted him, and got the fuck out of there. I'm like, well, you're out of your suffering now, brother.
See ya.
Good to go.
It was funny. I was one of the other missions. I had just finished the like the first legendary hunt, the bear hunt. So I had the bear corpse skin thing on the back of my horse, and I was riding back to camp as you do, and came across this woman who had fallen off of her horse, and her horse had died somehow.
Oh yeah, I meant that later.
and pinned her underneath it.
Yeah.
So I help her out and pick the horse up off
Sure
her.
could use a ride back to town, mister.
Yeah, she asked for a ride back to town, so I'm like, sure, hop on.
Yeah.
And then she looks at me and she's like, there's not enough room on your horse. So I'm like, all right, well then fuck you can walk.
Everyone in the world has that exact same interaction of like, well, I'm not going to drop the legendary bear. It says legendary right there.
Yeah, like what
This
are they,
lady
what are
take
they
a
thinking?
hike. There is so much shit in that game, just in the world. There's so much, like, I've walked into just random houses out in the wilderness being like, I'm gonna see if I can go in this farmhouse. I totally can. Also, there's a huge quest with like dialogue and story, and some of the best shit is just hidden away in the world. There are I'll say that you'll see a lot of things where you just hang out and see how they play out, because there's a lot of things that are just like funny little vignettes where you can get in there and fuck them up if you want. But like if your gut instinct is to shoot racists, maybe just see how it plays out, and that would be my hot tip.
I think the best like random encounter of not like a stranger proper, like a mission or anything.
Just things happen.
Riding around and some guy, I like thought it was super faint, and I like thought I heard something, so I pulled out of the auto ride thing, whatever, cinematic, and I look over and there's a fire like kind of off on a cliff somewhere. So I like rode up to it, and it's this dude, and he's like, come on, sit down. And he's like just fucking hammered. So like I sat down beside him and he like goes on this ramble about like it's total nonsense. Like none of it makes any sense, whatever. And then he literally like, so like the thing he's like, boy, I'm out of whiskey. Would it be nice if I had some more whiskey? And it's like, you want to give him some whiskey? I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to give him some whiskey. So I tossed him a bottle, whatever, and he's like, Americana. And he literally just Leahy's it. Like, he cracks it open and chugs the whole thing. And then he goes, oh, my eyes are getting tired. And literally just, boom, falls on his side and, like, drops himself. And I looted him, and, like, yeah, it was outstanding. Just, like,
great.
the random little things in that game are
There's
brilliant.
so much good shit. It's slow. It's really slow and plotting in a way that I have been playing it. I just like to get it. I just like to let it happen to me. I'm just gonna get there, do what I want. I'm just gonna go hunt if I want, or fish, or do whatever I want, and just kind of let it happen around on the periphery. In a way that like games kind of haven't been in a long time. It is slow.
How's that striking you, Cal?
And that's another thing that, like, one of the very first missions that you go on, you're going to save Johnny Boy up on the mountaintop, and you were walking across this ridgeline, and I'm like, as I'm walking across this ridgeline, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, I have to go this slow, and I can see the end of it. This is like a fucking 3-minute walk. Are you fucking serious?
I find that it's making me like just how long all the animations and stuff take. It's making me like role play my cowboy. Like I don't really need to stop and sleep every night. You can kind of item your way around it, but he does. He makes camp every night, and he makes sure he eats breakfast and dinner at the very least, and always has coffee for the mornings, and just random shit like that.
There is I do have a few complaints that really grinded on me before I kind of had my moment of, okay, this game is actually kind of okay. And I'm still not all the way around to it's good yet. Like I don't know. I still don't. I highly doubt I'm gonna finish it. I've never finished a Rockstar game in my life, and for this one to be the first one would be fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, don't break the streak.
Exactly. But first complaint is it is very, very, very hard. I don't know if it's just a me thing, which is entirely possible, but it is very hard to figure out where sounds are coming from in this game.
Like where, like if someone's like, "Hey, Mister,"
yeah,
did you know that if you
get close enough, they show up on the mini map as like the.
Even if they're off the map, they'll still show up as a, like how enemies show up as a red thing, they'll show up as a gray, like a highlight on the edge of the map.
I have never noticed that.
It's true.
And I've stared at that map.
It could be a Kevin thing. It could be a Kevin thing. I don't know. I'm a lot of hours in. A lot of hours.
But yeah, especially in like if you're like being in Valentine where there's so many sounds coming from all these different directions. Like there was one guy who was screaming at me about, you know, probably the same kind of thing that Warren was talking about. Hey, I just need a little bit of money here for some food and some liquor.
Oh yeah, one arm guy or one leg guy.
Oh, see,
He's
I
a Valentine.
never found a guy with one leg. I found a guy with one arm.
He's leaning up on a building.
He asked me for a hug.
I hugged that man.
At first, I'm like, yeah, man. Hey, I'll be your friend. And then he asked me to embrace him.
Real nice.
And I'm like,
sometimes he's even like real therapist. He's like, sometimes it's nice to feel human contact. Would it be all right if I embraced you? Fucking hell yeah.
What about Venom? You guys get Venom guys? The Venom guy yet? Got bit by a snake?
Oh, and you got
leg?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah. Y'all suck out that poison.
Yes, I did.
Didn't do that. But the other thing that really pissed me off, you know, the guy and this is another beginning of the game kind of spoiler thing, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Especially at this hour in the morning, fuck y'all. So you you get into a fist fight with someone at the bar, and somebody breaks up the fist fight. And kind of the next time you see this guy, he's working at a booth asking for money to donate to the poor. Like, I'm raising money to donate to help the poor, blah, blah, blah. And then you go talk to him. You have a little confrontation. And this guy's yelling for donations. And you can't donate. You can't give the guy money.
Is that true?
That's totally true. I'm like, I don't know. That part, and that was still early in the playthrough, so I was still kind of sour on the game. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I might. Do you want to
What
hear?
the fuck?
You want to hear something else that is not in the game that maybe seems like it should be? That is maybe a bummer. Ladies will proposition you if you're looking good. They'll be like, "Hey, you wanna go for a roll in the hay or whatever?" There's no getting with courtesans, no getting with prostitutes in this game.
Well, I mean, do you say yes and then it like fades to black kind of thing?
No, you can decline or you can reject. And reject is hilarious. Reject is like shut them right down. But
wonder
yeah,
if that-
no sex in the game.
Maybe changes. It seems weird that they wouldn't give you the option to do.
Totally. From
Yeah,
a
maybe-
Rockstar game?
Hey, maybe
Maybe the Hausers are growing up. I don't know.
Well, he's got that. He had a girlfriend, wife, fiance, whatever at some point that maybe he's like doesn't want
Saving
to.
himself for.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe he's a los homosexuals.
Yes, he could be.
Like,
yes,
when
that is how Javier
He
says
has
it.
multiple homosexuals.
Yes,
apparently.
Like, if you press R2, it gives you the option, right?
And that's another complaint.
Decline and
decline.
reject. Yeah, so you can be like, no, not today, ma'am, or you can be like, you look like I'd be seen in there with you. Like you just really shut it down.
That is actually surprising and weird.
Yeah, especially for a Rockstar.
I
game.
feel like there has to be something at some point where
I
something
mean,
changes.
you know, there's nudity
I haven't even
in
been
there.
propositioned yet, so I didn't even know
There's
what that
nudity
was.
in there.
But like
It's been
the
a lot.
bath thing, it's like, oh, are you gonna fucking
That's
grab
just-
my wiener? Or
that's-
what's the deal here? Like,
No, that's just
just gonna
platonic.
have this-
She's just scrubbing you
just
down.
rubbing you down.
awkward ass
scrubbing you down.
talk.
It's like getting a massage, except instead of lying on a bed with a towel over your,
Yeah, she's scrubbing you.
she's
Wait,
in a
hold-
bathtub
You're supposed to have that. You're supposed to leave the towel on.
until the end, until they ask you,
Oh,
like,
okay.
okay, flip over.
Happy ending.
I'm always just like I feel way more comfortable without the towel if we can just make that work.
That's all right. It's great. It's such a great game.
yeah.
New
Sorry.
shit.
Speaking of another complaint,
Okay.
wrapping your head around all the mechanics at the beginning is very, very frustrating.
It's true. They're not doled out, especially.
Well, and there's not really a lot of
Smartly.
carryover. It's not even like, oh, if you played the first one, you like it's
Yeah.
totally that whole L2 trigger
Like
is brand new.
everything with the L2 button in that game pisses me off.
Well,
Everything,
Get used to it.
and that's the thing, right? It's like at the beginning, it's as you slowly get used to it, it gets better, but it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Remembering to put up your little face mask whenever you're doing
Yeah.
something a little on
Shady.
the shady side is also super hard to remember at the beginning.
yeah.
Remembering to take your weapons off of your horse when you're doing the bear thing, and the bear fucks you up because you only have your pistol,
That's a good one.
and then he's just gone. So now you have to track him. And I
So
still haven't
I
done
never
that
died
yet.
to that. I got him right then and there.
See, and that's Pete. Like Brando said that he like the bear kind of like bit him in the stomach, and then
Yeah.
there's like a smash the button to fight him up.
Yeah.
Stab,
He
stab,
fucking
stab, stab,
knocked
stab.
me down and bit his bottom jaw on my jaw and his top jaw
Oh.
on my head, and fucking boom, dead immediately. Never had an option.
I also only had the pistol, but I fed every single shot of that pistol
Yeah.
into that bear's
As soon
face.
as I saw him coming, it was like dead eye. Boom, 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 boom.
That's
and
another
he still
thing.
jumped on
Holy
me.
shit. Every time you guys say something, it reminds me of something I don't like. Which
You know, dead eye. I hate slow motion.
Hit me, because I'm only hearing good things out of this, and I'd like to hear like the opposite.
the L2 button is both your aim your weapon button and your talk to people button. So obviously at the beginning it's hard to remember if it's
aim your character. If you don't have a gun out, your charter still aims at them.
blah
But
blah blah.
if you do have your
but
gun
if you
out,
do
you'll-
have a gun out,
You'll aim your
and
gun, right?
sometimes, especially with the pistol, if you're riding your horse and you have your pistol out because you just got into some shit, and the camera angle is such that you can't see the pistol being held, it's entirely possible to forget you have your pistol out, and all of a sudden you want to talk to somebody, and oh look, now I'm pointing my gun at you, and now
They even
everybody's
always
mad.
give you a chance. Do you know you can press up on the D-pad and he'll hold his gun in the air, and you can shoot your gun in the air if you want.
Yeah, I know.
I saw somebody doing that. I saw a clip of someone like holding up a train or whatever, being like, "Give me all your money," and then hold the gun in the air and they shot it, and then an eagle fucking falls out of the sky right beside him. Oh, it was the best.
But yeah, and that's just another thing that you just have to get used to if you want to play the game. Is just make sure you have your gun away when it needs to be away.
Yeah,
Make
don't
sure...
accidentally pull it out during a fist fight, which I always
Yeah,
fucking
I do that
too.
all the time.
I did that with a cop. I was like, well,
One time,
I'm fucked.
one time I saw him grab the gun. And I was like, no, because like as soon as you pull a gun, it's a crime. If you're fist fighting, that's okay. He pulled the gun and he just fucking pistol whipped the dude and put him down, and then put the gun away. I was like, well, hell
All
yeah!
right.
It's hard to realize which NPCs are like good guys, because there was a there was a lawman who had this guy in his lawman cage, and he was transporting him across country on horseback with
It was a lawman
a
animal.
little carriage that he was dragging behind him with this dude in the cage. And the guy was freaking out, saying he was falsely convicted and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I rode up beside him and started talking to him for a while, saying, hey, man, what's up? What's going on? Is this shit all on the up and up? Like, and all the dude said who was on the carriage was like, hey, man, you better stay back. And I'm like, well, I can do what I want. I'm a fucking cowboy. And he eventually just started shooting at me.
He got too close to his prisoner. He's suspicious. Fuck.
He also warned you.
And he was like, get on back.
Yeah, but why do I have to listen to that?
Why? You,
It's the Wild West.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
can't
the
trust
Wild West,
anybody.
yeah.
Also-
Everybody has guns.
and he works for the law, so
But
he is
I-
by
I
default in the
couldn't,
right.
I couldn't tell
why
whether
we're
or not
fighting
he was
against
actually...
I know what you mean. Like at the same, like with those strangers too, where you're
Just like real life.
oh, it was my brother. You got the wrong guy, and I'm like, that
Is it?
seems like a likely excuse.
Is it?
But I'm just gonna let you. Like I don't think I've ever saved one of those guys. I'm just like I don't.
But yeah,
whatever.
so the guy ended up shooting at me, and even when I was talking to him, it just said stranger. Like, it didn't say lawman or anything like that. If it would have said lawman in the corner, I would have been like, okay, I'll leave you alone. You're the law, right?
Asked to see his badge. Maybe he's a bounty hunter.
I was gonna
Exactly,
say it could be
exactly.
Bounty
It could be anything, right? I had no
Arthur
idea
Morgan,
to know.
Arthur Morgan can't tell. Just like he can't tell. Just like I can't tell from looking at you. You could all the like random shit you say on a podcast. I'm like, is that? That's so crazy. That might be true. Same way.
But yeah, so I ended up, he ended up shooting at me, so I ended up killing him and the carriage driver, and then the guy in the back was like, oh, thanks, man, thanks. So all you gotta do is shoot the lock and let me out. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, and now that the corpse says lawman corpse, and it said you just killed a lawman, your bounty is this, I'm like, ooh, well, maybe this was a legit prisoner transport, and I just interfered.
Just because you're against the law, though, or I mean, just because he's like been like Arthur gets taken by the law, doesn't mean Arthur's a bad guy who deserves to die.
Yeah, exactly, right? But
He might have still been an okay dude, even if that was a real lawman.
I mean, I didn't let him out.
Oh, they just left him to starve.
Actually, I executed him.
Okay, that's far kinder. Far kinder.
I'm like, I can't trust you. I just accidentally killed this lawman, and
You
now-
saw my face.
Yeah.
Accidentally
No witnesses.
killed this lawman.
Yeah.
So yeah, I pulled out my gun. I like pointed it at the lock for a second, and then boom, shot him in the head. I really don't like the way the Deadeye mode works. I don't like the painting of the shots.
Give
It'll,
that time.
Because
Yeah.
you turn on
It'll change.
you
Yeah.
turn on Deadeye mode, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I guess I'm gonna put 6 shots into your stomach.
I agree.
Awesome, that's fun.
Totally agree. Because I hated that too, and they
Yeah.
did that a bit in the first game.
That's fucking annoying.
changes.
You're like,
It
you're
changes really.
constantly
Thank God.
with the hunting too. It was like, okay, well, I need to shoot at this thing in the head, but like I painted over the body, so I'm gonna reset my shot,
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah.
it does.
It gets to a
eventually-
point
Very
You mark it.
frustrating. Very frustrating.
So what do you mean if you're in Deadeye mode and everything's slow and
Yeah,
then you're
you
aiming?
move your cursor, and
Yeah.
anything your cursor
As soon
touches,
as I like,
that-
if I hit
that
his
it
shoulder, then
can
it's
shoot
gonna
at.
X
Or his
there, and then an X
horse.
there, all the
Oh,
way across.
really?
him.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
Or the horse.
It's
Yeah,
very
that's the worst
annoying.
part.
The horse was always the one for me. Where like, well, I don't fucking want to shoot the horse, but
But it changes. Like I don't think I'm 10 hours in, and I think it
Is it like
it's
once you level up your Deadeye enough, you get different options? Probably.
It's just in a mission
story
I think.
thing.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Okay.
Isn't the idea where you aim for the head so there's only like one point, and then
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
then hit?
Which you could still do by painting.
and eventually you
But
get
they're
better at
slowly
Deadeye and
moving.
learn
Yeah.
how to like.
Yeah.
Arthur
And
gets
you don't have a
better at-
lot, depending on your items. Like you might not have a lot of Deadeye meter left, so you've only
Yeah.
got X amount of time. You're just like, whoop!
I hunted a legendary animal. I forget which one, and it gave me a thing that makes my Deadeye last 5 seconds longer, which is it might as well be an hour. That's an infinite amount of time. 5 seconds is so fucking long in slow motion. It's just hunt those legendary animals. You get
Better wake up, Oj.
Time to get up.
That's my
Works
Do
a
your
calling.
fail-safe alarm.
That's my first alarm.
Oh.
Any closing thoughts here on Red Dead as we progress into it?
Just to give you a little perspective too, OJ, I am different than Kev in that I played the first one 3 times.
Oh wow.
Was very, very looking forward to this, and still thought it started very slow.
It does.
I was like scared. I'm like, oh fuck, I am not enjoying this really. Like it looks great, feels great, but I'm just like, I don't know what it is. I just there's something here that I don't like.
The slowness that I'm talking about in particular is the animation of picking up everything, the looting, and then also like the walking and
I also went into it with a little bit of different expectations, and this is probably my own fault again. But when Matt was talking last week about how you see it in the world, you pick it up, you can loot it, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. The first room you go into, there's a bunch of O'Driscolls that you find, and they got a bunch of like liquor bottles on the table and everything like that.
Yeah, it was that cabin.
Yeah, at the cabin.
We're hanging out and they're squatting.
And they're like, loot the cabin. And I'm like, okay, well, cool. I'm gonna go up to this table and take all these liquor bottles with me. And
no,
you can see them. They're phically in the world.
Yeah, I know.
And
what you mean.
but
you can't loot them.
Yeah, you can't pick up like empty bottles.
No.
You can't pick up.
Well, and these had liquor in them, so it's like,
oh, I see.
Could have anything in them. Could have a human pee in them. You don't know.
Maybe they were tuners. Maybe your guy just knew that they were spittoons and they were just full of spit.
I don't know. It just
Tuners.
and it might be again like me wrapping my head around it in the wrong way. But when I heard you say that, I'm like, man, that's fucking cool. Like everything, like you can pick it up if you see it, you can pick it up, and that's not true.
I sort of see where the miscommunication there was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. I only played up until like that first camp that you guys set up, and I did not play the first one. I know it was good. I know like lots of people really liked it.
And that's the thing, because my other buddy Andy, Pride of Thunder Bay. He also didn't play the first one, and he's like, he's gonna wait to get this one for probably around Christmas time. So he's like, make sure if you like notice anything at some point that I need to know about, to let me know about it, whatever. I haven't hit anything like really at all that's been like, oh shit, if you didn't play the first one, you wouldn't know what this is. But you do pick up on some, like, there's some really cool like foreshadowing, like that mission where you go get John off the mountain. Yeah. And who do you ride up there with?
Javier.
Is it Javier?
Escuela.
So when you're like, Arthur's at some point, it's like, not worried, but he says something about like, wonder if he's okay or whatever. And Javier's like, it's Marston. Everything always turns out great for him. He's a lucky son of a bitch or whatever. And you're like,
You'll see some characters from the first game. They're like, oh, hey, I know that man.
Like that first mission when you go and scope out like Blackwater for the first time, and you go down there. And you ride, like, I rode into that town past the graveyard again, and I'm like, oh fuck, like this
is Blackwater the game, one of the towns in the original?
Yeah.
Is the area the same thing? Like, you go to Valentine, you go to all those places in the first game?
No, we're like way more
south.
I think we're east, because they're always talking about like, well, we want to head west. Well, and yeah, Blackwater is west. I think Blackwater was on the very
Blackwater is like southeast of Valentine, of where your initial camp is.
It's like. No, it's southwest. It's
southwest.
like that. It's like that whole western corner is like.
Oh, the start to the mission to go to Blackwater is kind of southeast. So that's probably what I'm thinking.
I think Red Dead 1 took place to the west of where we are now. I think we're just like east of that, and Blackwater is kind of the where the Venn diagram overlaps. I think
because that where you're like when you walk up to those guys, your boys that are on the hill with the binoculars out, they're looking into that town. That is like Blackwater town. Like, that's what I mean. I rode past that graveyard that's at the top of the hill that you rode past, where, like, John's farm is down the road from there. Yeah. And I haven't, obviously, filled out in the entire map, and I haven't looked to see what the full map looks like. But the way that... So when you're on the map and you zoom out all the way, if you go straight down from the middle, it stops at a point where you can still see some of the map. If you go down and to the left, it keeps going for a long time until you can't see anything.
Okay.
And if you remember... Part of Mexico was down and to the left of Blackwater, so part of me wonders if, like, most of that original map is also in this game. Which would be cool to just go ride through everything essentially that you did before. Like go to the Bonnie's Branch is here.
Go
and,
see
like,
Old Man McFarlane or whoever's on the
who
farm.
would be less old at that point, I guess.
It's true.
But yeah, I've been kind of saying all the bad things that I don't like about the game. So I want to talk about the turning point.
Compliment
Yeah.
sandwich.
The turning point for me.
I also want to talk about.
Is it the mission? Is that?
Yeah.
That's so two things. We're gonna talk specifically about that mission. I'll let you go ahead, but I think also a big part of it is like Arthur Morgan for the first like however until you get to that mission, you're like, I don't know about this dude. You know,
You don't really know anything about him.
he's not. Is he a character? Is he me? Is he himself? I don't know. I'm sort of wishy-washy on him.
Yeah.
And then this mission happens.
But building up to this, I was doing I don't know if you guys have done them, but the sheriff bounties where you go and you like find the
Tear the poster off.
tear the
wall.
poster off, and
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
the first one of those I did, you go find this guy down by the river, and you confront him, and this game is very much like, and I don't know if the first game was like this. I'm sure it was. All Rockstar games seem to be like this. It's like every mission is like a scripted cutscene kind of thing, right? Everything happens by the book. There's kind of no way around it, and that kind of annoyed me, especially at this mission, because I'm looking at the poster, I'm looking at the guy, I see this is obviously the guy, so I just was like, I don't want to talk to you. I'm just gonna pull out my lasso.
Whoa, you pulled the poster off and he was right there.
Well, no, I traveled to him.
Okay, because
looked at the
it puts
poster.
a thing on your map.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Okay.
So I traveled to him, and I see the guy, and I'm like probably about 15 feet away from him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this is the guy. I look at him. It's obviously the guy. So I wanted to just lasso him right there, not put up with any of this shit. Don't want to hear what he has to say. Like, I know you're a wanted man, and you can't. You gotta start the mission. You gotta start the cutscene. You gotta go hit all the points that it wants you to hit.
That's a weird complaint of like, don't worry, there will be plenty of time to rope down, to bounty hunt people with like no story, and that like those things give you a mission and then you go on a weird adventure every time. Whereas if you're just out there like checking off a box of like, okay, I see the guy, rope him up, drive him all the way back across the map to jail, I think that'd be like super disappointing.
I feel like maybe the multiplayer, you'd get more of what you're wanting, of just like,
Maybe.
that's my guy, I need to get him and
Wrap
take
him
him
up.
back.
And it wasn't just that moment in that mission that pissed me off. It was this was the first time you like try to he falls off the cliff
That part's really good.
and you catch him, and
Because you have to take him alive.
Yeah.
Like, I'll kill myself, mister.
Shit.
please don't.
he didn't say he would kill himself for me.
Really? As he's
no.
like, I'd rather die than whatever, and he's like backing up to the ledge.
No, he just talked about how you got the wrong guy kind of thing. And
Oh shit.
yeah, I don't know if it was a different dialogue.
We might have
option
like,
that I chose,
I might have greeted when you antagonized, or
yeah,
vice
exactly,
versa.
something like that. But yeah, so he fell off the cliff, and I'm like trying to do the little button prompts to pick him back up, and this was the first time these prompts have shown up, and they didn't explain it at all. And maybe it's a thing that, you know, you play the first game, you know how these things work, but it's like it shows the left stick and then it shows X. So I'm like, well, all right, I'll press X a whole bunch, and maybe I'll wiggle the left stick around a bit. And
Is that what the prompt is? Did you do that bounty hunt?
Yep. I'm trying to
I don't
remember, like
remember
when he's on the edge, when you're like,
Yeah.
onto him.
I remember just having to mash a
too.
button. It was
remember seeing the
like
stick.
they put a button in the middle of the screen, and there's a circle that keeps like unfilling. And I've played video games, so it's pretty obvious. I just have to press
That's
A.
not even close to what it's like on PlayStation. Like the prompts are in the bottom right corner of the screen. They're very small, even on my TV.
Oh yeah. It'd be
Yeah,
down
you're
there.
right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was like pull up or something, and you like
It-
you hold it and it,
It was
unfills.
it was
You're like,
not
oh no!
it was not obvious that you were supposed to pull up on that stick. So
I don't remember the stick at all, but
but yeah, so
Yeah.
and anyway, then he falls into the river and you go, and that part was kind of cool.
yeah. Also,
but,
he has to fall in there. You can't.
one of the achievements for that mission is to prevent him from falling in the river.
If he gets to that, there's no way to do that QuickTime event.
Really?
That QuickTime event is like it's magician
And
magic.
I don't like that shit either.
Oh, you hate everything. You know, this game has too much story. I wish that the NPCs didn't talk and you didn't. I just want to roll up to them and I want them all to say nothing, and I just want them to fucking look at me.
Hour and 9 minutes. We already broke Eats.
Yeah.
It's done. Good.
So I hear a lot about that stuff about the controls and like you mentioned, being in a fist fight and then pulling out your gun by accident because all these buttons are super vague and nothing's actually like unified. Like you can loot with triangle, or you can like
unless you're picking up weapons or hats, and
picking up stuff and or square, that's kind of annoying and weird and unrefined.
You do it enough and often enough.
I hear you.
You just kind of, but at the start, it's a bit of a like.
You're constantly looking at that bottom thing on the screen, being like, "Oh, okay, pick up hat."
It's and like Eats has been saying for the whole time, it's like it's very, very counterintuitive to what you expect from a game. Like it's whereas a regular game will hit you with like tutorial after tutorial to teach you the systems right at the beginning. This one is like, well, you should probably just learn it yourself, otherwise, fucking stop playing.
I agree with the my first fist fight. I pressed the trigger. Same thing as you did. And I'm like, oh.
And then he fucking puts it under his chin and
do that, I guess.
When that stuff happens now, that's like a part of my story.
Yeah, like, you just gotta roll.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you hit him in exactly the right spot, and he raged. He's a berserker, and now he's got his fucking gun out. If you at home are having the same, it's kind of a slow burn. You're not sure. Play through. There's a part where you go for drinks with Lenny, which is kind of one of the early, very memorable parts. And that was really where it clicked for me. That was
the same moment for me.
This game is more than it initially appears.
And for me, by the time I got to that mission, that is kind of the part where I agree, it totally got hooks in me. I was starting to already kind of like it before that, but that's when I was like, yep, now I'm fully in. By the time I got to that point, I had already figured out, like, you're already accustomed to all this shit that takes a long time to get used to. So I feel like it's just a slow start. Like, you get through that first slow start. Once you get to that one mission, then you're like, yep, this is...
It sets the pace. It sets the precedent. You know how it's going to go. And also, I love Arthur. Arthur is a fantastic character with an amazing... The actor who plays him is like, what a performance.
And it's like...
what a performance.
It's a completely... Well, I don't want to say nobody, but like he hasn't really done anything of note.
Did you IMDb him?
I did.
What's like, do you know, his most memorable?
There was a play that he was in,
weird.
And I think that was the top thing. Like, there was no other video games, nothing. Like, it's totally...
Just every single thing he says, he's just chewing it. Oh, come on, girl! Like, every single
all right, boy.
Oh, man. Well, do we talk about any other games in Red Dead? Didn't even play anything else?
Sorry, just one more thing. Red Dead.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
I remember you mentioned last week, and I totally agree with you, is that this game does the slow stuff really well, but it's a one and done. Like, that's kind of what you were saying on the podcast last week, is that, like, if anybody else were to kind of put something out like this again, I probably would hate it and be like, we've done that. Like, I can suffer through, not suffer, but I can play through this game and have it be as slow as it is. But let's go back to video games after this one. Like, let's play some games that I can skip through the animation of skinning this pig for the 500th time.
I wonder how, if at all, this is going to influence like Cyberpunk, something the next big open world game that everyone's talking about that's in development. I wonder. I don't know. I love how they do the loot. It's slow, and like you could probably optimize it somehow, but I love physically, like, every single item I get, I'm like, fucking A, what is it? Canned vegetables? Hell yes.
Well, and you're like, every time you loot a body, you like kind of prop him up too. Yeah. Not like in the older one where you just like pocket, kind of hover above him and like pat, 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 boom, got it. And it was always the same pat, 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 got it. Whereas now you like actually like kind of like dig in him and then like drop the body and it makes the thud noise, and
everything feels very bespoke. You can tell that people probably were working 100-hour work weeks and destroying themselves making this game, because everything is just so polished. There's so many systems. It's incredible.
The thing it makes me think about and wonder about, and I know we're a long ways off from this because they had all of their teams working on this game, is how it's going to affect the next Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
and how that's going to play out. Because if this is like kind of their direction of we want it to be as real as possible, then is it just going to be a similar slow playing game but set in current time?
Maybe a little faster, the pace, right? Your cars versus horses and like automatic weapons.
And that's the thing that I was talking with Brando about this too. I think that part of me wonders if they made it slower like that because it was the West and it was just a simpler time and not everything didn't move as fast as it does now. And
totally.
Like, you have to ride across the city. You can't fast travel.
Eventually you can.
Yes,
you unlock a limited kind of fast travel, which is nice.
But it's not like I can just like, I want to go here and then boom, you're there. You have to fucking ride there. Like that's just how it does a good job of putting you in that mindset of the West, the Wild West, simple times.
Did you guys learn about the American West in school at all?
No.
No.
Maybe.
I don't think we did. I guess in the American curriculums they do, because folks in the chat were all like, "Well, this is kind of like what we learned in like grade 3 or whatever."
Well, I mean, we learned about the Canadian.
Yeah,
history,
we did,
right?
but like
So-
I sort of had no. I feel like I sort of didn't get lawlessness and like. Why was everyone just an outlaw? Why don't we just do what we do now? And like laws, it works okay if you're.
Well, it's because when you
white
have
male?
when you have, especially like back then, you have all your settlements are so far apart,
Yeah.
and like even the law in it, like law is different in each town, kind of thing, right? Like, so how do you force people to follow laws when they don't know what the laws are? Like, especially like even in this game, it's kind of evident that that's the way it is. It's like, I did not know that moving that body was going to be a crime, right? Like,
It sounds lame, but I feel like I am being taught a little something about like, okay, no, I sort of actually
How life
see
was.
how maybe this would have worked. Yeah.
yeah,
It's a time before there was a way to like radio. Just for an example, there wasn't a way to like get word around. It's just word of mouth.
Yep.
yeah,
So, like if the president says this is how things are,
That's how it
then
is.
it's got to wait for him to tell this guy, who tells this guy in this town, who tells this, and it got to go across the country that way, as opposed to just
Well, we just got that fancy new railroad system running through Blackwater there.
yeah.
Have you guys been buying your newspapers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Every town has different newspapers.
Well, that's yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know? Is it every day or every week or something? There's a new paper, or it's probably tied to like story missions kind of
Yeah,
thing?
I'm not sure
Definitely.
what sets it off.
Definitely,
But,
I think it's tied to story because there's
Have you guys found more than one paper in one town?
like
No.
different
Like different editions?
No,
Okay.
no, I haven't. But I've showed up to a town and had like 5 back issues or whatever of like, oh, you just didn't come and see the paper boy soon enough, so you can
Okay, yeah.
you can buy number 31 to 38.
Yeah, but the very first one that I bought, I don't, issue 27 or whatever it is, I don't really remember. But the first one that's available to buy, I sat down and I started reading it and read the whole thing, and I was blown away with not only how much detail was in it, but how many articles. Like there were like a solid like 12, 13 like full page articles, some that you had to scroll down
Yeah.
because they were so long.
Some of them are like most of them are just flavor. It's like, we did a review on this new pistol. Here's like the 5 best 6 shooters or whatever. It's the whole game feels bespoke. Every single thing somebody meticulously poured over, it feels like.
I'm very excited to play that for the majority of the next 24 hours and 43 minutes.
Yeah. Plus or minus some Snake Eater.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts, Red Dead here? We'll this will probably be our last big Red Dead talk until spoiler cast time.
Spoiler cast.
Kevin, you said you don't think you're gonna finish it.
I don't think it's possible. For me especially, like
It'll just
I burn out on games very easily, and for a game that is advertised at like 1,000 hours,
You can always, I mean, and it feels shitty, but like you can always make the decision of like, I'm just gonna play the missions. I'm just gonna get this done.
yeah,
I think
no,
that's the game at its worst, because that's when you're like bumping into like the video game part of it the
Yeah.
most. But
because they're all essentially the same.
they're
mission.
all ride to a place, do a thing. Usually it
Shootout.
gets fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
Those
okay.
characters
That's
are
okay.
all those characters are really like the characters in this game are way more memorable than every single person, including John Marston in Red Dead 1. Yeah. Even like random camp doctor that you sort of never interact with and kind of barely see is way more interesting than John Marston is.
All right, I got one more thing I want to say before we move on.
All right. Yeah, we really got it. I just can't help myself.
I know it's tough.
I
Every
love
time somebody says something, I'm like, I could talk about that.
I love it
We
so
got,
much.
we got a lot of time to kill
true.
you guys.
Yeah, but
is
everyone
a
at home who's
podcast.
playing it doesn't want to, you know.
I just want to talk for 1 second about like the immersion factor, because early on you capture somebody and you bring them back to your camp and you tie them up and you can go talk to him and like antagonize him, call him a shithead. He always asks for food. He's like, hey man, I'm starving, can you give me some food? So what I do every time I'm in camp, I go get myself a nice big pot of stew. I walk right in front of him and I eat that shit right in front of the guy.
Does he ever say anything? Does he have any
No,
dialogue?
he doesn't mention it
smells
at all.
good,
But
mister.
That's that role play.
It
that,
feels
that
good.
Sounds really
Yeah,
it feels
yeah,
good
you're
every time
cowboy
I
role
do that.
playing.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say that you were upset that you couldn't give him food or something.
That's
Like,
exactly
you
what I thought that
coward. You coward. Fuck that guy.
Starving them out. It's an O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll.
Yeah, the camp stuff's really good too.
Yeah.
Like the moments of like you go and rescue somebody and then everyone like you can't do any more missions because the entire camp is getting drunk and like singing at campfires.
I just want to cut firewood, you guys.
There's-
Everyone's fucking.
There's a
doing
cool
it
moment where
hard.
you can like you sit at the campfire and they're singing like Uncle and like a bunch of people are singing a song and you can start singing it.
The ring dang do.
Yeah.
Ring dang do.
If
the
you
ring
walk
dang
away,
do.
you continue to sing it.
Oh yeah.
If you go and, as I found out, if you go to like check out your beard stuff,
He's still singing.
camera's on your face and he's still like ring dang doo. Like it's fucking brilliant.
Tapping his foot along.
So great.
Did anyone play anything that isn't Red Dead this week? I think I've pretty much. We must have played something else. Warren, what did I stream this week? Anything that isn't
You
Red
played
Dead?
that shitty game yesterday.
Oh, that shitty game. Oh, Call of Cthulhu. Cthulhu, I believe, is what we settled on.
I looked at that game a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
Because I saw it on the new releases on Steam. I'm like, hey, those are words that I like to see beside each other. So I clicked on it. I read the synopsis. I looked at a little bit of gameplay, and realized very, very quickly that game looks like utter trash.
I wouldn't say utter trash. It is like hyper generic in a way that like, what the fuck was it? Like kind of like. So Mass Effect Andromeda came out, and then every game decided to become Mass Effect Andromeda and had a dialogue wheel.
Did you
and
ever
it is one of
play?
those.
And I don't think you did, but did you ever play that shitty Game of Thrones?
Telltale.
No, not
Oh, the
the
RPG.
RPG
No,
one that
I
came
did
out.
not.
That it felt to me generic in a way that Game of Thrones game was very generic.
It is like kind of poorly written dialogue, uninteresting. I'll say dialogue. Literally everyone in the game talks just like this. Every single person is every single person to a fault, to a fucking fault. Where you're like, you the player are constantly going. Clearing your throat for these people.
Lozenge.
It's
sir?
so bad. Like the really like stilted. The conversations are like the camera is perfectly focused on whoever's talking, and then you're talking. So it swings over here, and then you're talking, so it swings back, and like just no production value, kind of at all. And the things you're doing suck. It turns out it's a pixel hunt game almost, where go into a room. There is a little icon on the bottom left of the screen, a circle that says, hey, there's hidden items in here. And then you just blindly fumble around a dark room until you happen to stumble into these items. And once you get them all, the thing disappears. And then you do a really, you like, almost like Detroit, where you're like seeing the crime, how it went down. Except instead of having things to interact with, you are just going to each thing and he's being like, a body was here. A bottle got broken. Like, there's a knife in the table. And then they threw a bunch of Cthulhu shit on top of it, where like, oh, your character's having dreams about tentacles, and like, it's I
Sexy
have
dreams.
about tentacles sometimes. It's the most generic average. It's like less than average.
Well, and I tuned
third-person
in
game.
just in time to watch it break for you too.
Yeah,
which
and
was
also it
outstanding.
totally broke on us, which fucking great. It's bad. If you like Lovecraftian shit, it's bad for that. If you like video games, it's bad for that. Also, it's full price. It's $80 fucking dollars here in Canada. It's a bad game. It's a bad.
Did you
video
pay full
game.
price for that?
Maybe.
Okay. Good.
Maybe. I'll tell you, I played less than 2 hours of it.
Nice.
As one does.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, please tell me you played less than 2 hours of that pile.
Yeah, it's bad. Skip it. Anybody play anything else?
Anybody, have you heard of that game, something Oberdeen?
Yeah, Return of the Obra Dinn.
Yeah.
Why, yes, I have.
I'm very interested in that game.
From the man who made Papers, Please,
Yes.
which was
You
a fine
guys?
video game.
Anything?
Nothing.
Never heard of it.
Neither of those games.
I think
I've both seen and heard good things about
Yeah.
Papers, Please.
Me too, actually. That was a long time ago, wasn't it? Like
Yeah, a couple
while
years
ago.
back. Yeah.
5 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, this Oberdeen game finds you on like a tanker ship, and you're an investigator, and you have this picture of the cat or the crew, and you got to figure out what happened to these people. And I think you're just tooling around, figuring it out.
Just tooling around.
Tooling around.
Tooling around, doing your thing.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in that. I don't know if it's coming to consoles, but I know it's on PC, right?
I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah.
It's got a cool art style. It's got a cool I don't know, like an old Mac monitor, like dots. Not I don't know what the word. Not 16-bit, but
ASCII?
like no, ASCII is text. ASCII is like physical letters. No, I don't know what the word for it is, but like like old Oregon Trail, like kind of not green scale, but like almost yellow scale screen and big old blocky pixels. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
I honestly haven't seen anything about this. I just have heard about it, and
okay.
it's like it just really intrigues me in a way that
Like the Game Boy printer to print photos. You know how those looked?
Green and black kind of looking.
Yeah, it kind of almost like that, but
The
yellow.
pixelated
instead of-
matrix.
Yeah, it
looking
looks
thing.
looks real good. Yeah.
I got before we move on, I got two more things I want to touch on quick. Not
Red
about
Dead?
Red Dead.
Oh, okay.
Not
Two more
about
things
Red
I hate about Red Dead.
So I think I am finished with Warcraft again. I did. They just did their Halloween event, and I spent about 10 hours farming up the little bits that you get for the Halloween event, and logged on yesterday, Friday, November 2nd. For the people who play Warcraft, will know that the event ended on November the 1st. Whoops, indeed. So not only was I not able to refund and get the rewards for my multiple hours of farming, but Blizzard takes those away from you. So even when the event comes back, you got to do the farm again. Like the item physically is removed from your inventory. The item
Let's
is,
address the elephant in
Call
the
me
room.
crazy.
It's not just a Kevin mistake.
You went to get stuff from a Halloween event thinking it would still be on November 2nd.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
It's a Halloween event.
But it ran for 2 weeks before Halloween. It
So
started
would
on
end
the 15th.
on Halloween.
I figured it would end on like the weekend.
Why were you? Why you had all the currency? We're like, I'm not going to turn this in. I'll wait till the 2nd.
I was researching what I wanted to turn it in for. Because there was
I
4
understand.
distinct battle pets that I could have got,
Yeah.
and I wanted to make the right choice because I could only get 2 of them.
Had to right away for that rare book that they have
Yeah.
in the Archdiocese. They were going to send it over,
So,
and you can look through the
it does
battle
suck,
pets.
though.
And
I was very choked. I will say I put in a ticket, and
I was going to say you should get in touch. 'Cause they
I
might hook
fingers
you up.
crossed am gonna if
Raise a stink.
they give me my stuff, I'll keep my subscription. If they don't, that's the end.
That's
Tell
it,
'em.
hey?
You got to tell them.
Yeah.
And also it's Extra Life, guys. Come on, like help us out, like, for the kids.
So yeah, that's my little Warcraft thing, and I recently got back into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Mobile game,
Oh.
the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links game.
There's a new Yu-Gi-Oh game out.
Is there? There's
Yeah.
always a new one,
Yeah.
but they're always the same game.
I think this one is like has been described as more of a Magic Arena, more of like a collect and build.
Oh,
type
really?
Of,
But I will say, coming back, I only played it for about 2 months when the game first came out. As a returning player, I play a lot of games like this and then check back in on them time and time again and see like what has changed, kind of thing. This is so far the only game that I have seen that has done a returning player reward very, very well. They give you enough stuff to make basically any deck you want from scratch.
That's pretty cool.
In order, to get you back in.
I mean, you're still playing Yu-Gi-Oh! At the end of the day, but
Which is a great game.
no. Have you ever in your Yu-Gi-Oh! Playings, have you ever once said, "You've activated my trap card," or have you had the most powerful monster? Have you top decked the most powerful monster and held it up in the air and yelled, "Then Blue Eyes White Dragon"?
I've never actually played physical Yu-Gi-Oh! I
In the
own
game?
I own
In
some
the
of the
game
cards.
is
No,
fine. What?
Why would you do that in the game? Playing,
You know?
fuck, that's crazy.
Do you want to be a champion or don't? Do you want the heart? Do you want to believe in the heart of the cards?
You do have
or
to
don't
believe
you?
in the heart of the cards, yeah. But yeah, I just want to say, if anybody has played that game before and kind of thought that the reason I stopped playing is because it was very, very cash grabby. Like they released a new set almost 2 times a month kind of
wow.
thing. Like, yeah. So by the time I quit, 73 days into the lifespan of this game, there was already 7 sets out. So
Is that like just getting caught up on back catalog, do you think, of all the existing Yu-Gi-Oh
I mean,
cards?
it probably was, but it just felt really bad.
Yeah,
Just because it's like,
totally
well,
get that.
I'm a collector. I play games like this to get all the stuff, and to not be able to do it without spending a lot of money. I know you're looking at me weird.
If Kevin says it's a lot of money, you know.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I put a little bit of money in this game. I think put like $40-$50 into it, but
Wow.
the amount of money to stay competitive at that time was just ridiculous. But coming back, it's like they give you so much free stuff that it feels like a good time to come back in.
That's cool. Anybody? Oh, did you do anything?
No, I didn't play games.
Okay. Just as a rule of thumb. No.
Yeah. I had to skip out on the Last of Us stream, which I was disappointed in.
Oh, we all were just. Don't worry.
Yeah, sorry, you guys.
Don't worry. Spent all podcast talking it up.
I know,
Spent all day talking it up.
Is it happening?
It'll still
tonight,
happen.
though? Yeah. Well, in podcast time tonight.
Oh, I guess we
Yeah,
are still
Monday.
releasing this on Monday.
It's weird to think about it.
Just don't
Maybe.
don't
It
make any
might-
promises.
It
Don't
may
make
or
any
may
promises.
not be on tonight.
by,
It will.
By Monday night, you'll be okay.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, I really want to play that game, and I was disappointed that we had to cancel out. But
Plenty of Mondays left.
Warren, have you played The Last of Us?
Yep, once.
Yeah? Okay, good.
I plan to do the remastered when we get a little closer to the second one coming out.
Okay.
I want to,
Yeah.
because I
Kev?
only did it once.
Have
Yeah,
you?
I played it.
Yeah.
Did you finish? Kev hated it, I think, right?
Yeah, I don't-
Kev,
I didn't hate it. I thought it was perfectly average.
You just said that it
Perfectly
wasn't as
average,
good as
yeah.
everybody said.
Yeah.
too much talking from the characters. Just think it just zip it.
Too many like quests. Like maybe if you just let me find a way to bypass all those things and skip to the end, it would have been okay. But
Great game. I'm really looking forward to
Yeah,
playing it.
hell of a
I didn't do much at all this week. I watched The Haunting of Hill House.
Hill House,
I've
yeah.
completed that series. Are you guys?
I've heard it's not
How is
as
it?
like. Okay, so I keep seeing these articles about people are throwing up from watching this show.
Is it the
and
kittens?
Toby, who is just as big of a pussy as I am when it comes to scary movies, said that it didn't scare him at all.
Really?
But he only watched the first. He didn't watch the last episode.
Okay.
He watched 9.
I've heard people say that the last one is the scariest.
the big one?
Yeah.
Is it like? Has anyone ever watched American Horror Story? That first season of American Horror Story years and years
I
and
have
years
not
ago.
seen any of it. No.
There's like by the end of that show, you sort of it's kind of not a horror show. You sort of realize by the end, and that was almost the vibe I was getting from the like 3 or 4 episodes I watched.
So yeah, like I'm very much interested or was interested in this show because it's essentially a family drama.
Yeah,
Wrapped in a ghost story.
it's exactly what that first season was.
Yep. Of American Horror Story.
Yeah, first season so fucking good. Everybody should watch it.
So this is a really good series. If you talk to Toby, try to convince him to not watch that last episode because I love this until that last episode. They botched.
So yeah, maybe I had it backwards. Maybe what I was hearing was that the last episode was the shit one.
As in,
Sucks.
like they didn't wrap it up, or did they leave it open for a second season?
No, they wrapped it up, just not in this. For me, it was an unsatisfactory wrap up. It was, yeah. I don't know how much you guys want to talk about. I don't know if you guys are interested in watching it.
Not anymore.
It's good. It's very good up until that last one. And I mean, you could say that for like Lost, the whole series of Lost, Dexter,
Do not,
maybe.
don't you? Okay, Dexter, yes.
Yeah.
That whole last season.
But yeah, I was totally into this, and I had an idea of what I wanted to see from the finale, but it just didn't do it.
That sucks.
But it's cool. It's really cool, and it's kind of interesting to say for you to say that Toby wasn't scared of this because I was like, holy! I was gripping my seat like every episode.
Is it suspenseful?
Yes.
Is it jump scare?
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's
all of those.
yeah, it's full of tense moments. It's full of like really charged like emotional moments.
It never, in the 3 episodes I watched, it's always, you're like, okay, there's a spook coming, and there it is. There's a spook coming, there it is.
Yeah.
It never does the thing where you're like, there's a spook coming. oh shit, it didn't have like someone threw the grenade and it didn't explode. Like, where is it now? What's happening? What do like it never really did that thing. It never put me at my ease in a way that it really
okay.
could scare me. I was just like,
they do like ratchet it up, and then they always finish. Like there is not, it doesn't leave you hanging kind of thing, which probably would go a long way.
The scariest thing is the exact opposite of what you expect. Always, you want to scare somebody?
Yeah,
give them what they don't expect.
Which I went back and watched all of the Friday the 13th over the last week and a half ish. Not all of them. I didn't watch X because fuck that.
You watch Freddy vs. Jason? Is that in there?
Yeah,
that's a fun movie. That's a real fun movie.
That movie's fucking dope. But the real early one, specifically the first one, for that exact reason of like get me when like flip everything on its head. I think it's just because at the time horror movies were different.
Oh yeah.
So like there'd be moments where like I'd be like, oh yeah, here it comes, something's gonna, and it just never happens. Where you're like, what?
And then you're uncomfortable, but you don't know why. And then it does happen eventually, and you're like, oh fuck, god damn it! Like fucking Jason jumped out of the water. You remember? Is there a scene? Am I dreaming? Is there a scene in Freddy vs. Jason where they give Jason mouth to mouth?
Probably.
Yes.
Good.
They have to revive him, yes.
Is it through... No, I think they take the mask off because I remember seeing like real gnarled teeth or something.
Yeah,
but
it's gross.
There's some reason they 100%. Have to give... Okay, good.
Why did they revive him?
Because they need him to fight Freddy, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, because Freddy was fucking him up in his sleep.
Jason dies at the very beginning of that movie.
The most ambitious crossover event in movie history.
I will say...
It was outstanding.
I will say that I was always more of a Freddy fan than a Jason fan.
Fuck you.
Freddy's scary, man. You can't get away from Freddy.
True.
Jason, well, you kind of can't get away from Jason either.
No, but Jason's localized. You don't go into his domain, you're fine.
It's true, yes.
Just Freddy, you just fall asleep and that's it. You're done.
That's his domain.
I think Freddy was always the same town though, right? I don't think he traveled, right?
Until he got out. Isn't that the thing where like he's like a virus? Freddy only exists as long as people know about him, and he like kind of got out, and that's why like
I want to say one of them he like escaped into the real world. New Nightmare. That movie was bad.
Yeah, not like got out in the real world, but like too many people know about Freddy, and as long as someone knows about Freddy, he always exists.
No, maybe.
I don't think I've ever watched other than like maybe one Nightmare on Elm Street. I should watch those two at some point.
3 and 4 are both spectacular. 6 is the best of the series. 6, they really... Freddy 6, they really, really realize like the kind of movie they're making at the time. So there's a very, very video game moment in the game where one of the kids is having a dream about being in a video game, and Freddy is playing the video game and hunting him down and then killing him.
Which is the one where he gets blown up by dynamite at the very end. And then the 100 little Freddys all like laughing, like flying to the camera.
I think maybe that was 6.
Was that? That seems like a 6 thing.
Yeah.
I wish I am watching all the Fridays. I wish I would have been old enough to go see those movies in the theater, because fuck if I don't pop, still, like the first time I watched it, of course, but if I don't pop like a maniac every time at the end of Jason Goes to Hell, when he fucking dies and he like gets pulled down to the ground and his mask is sitting there and they all walk away and they're like, oh, thank God it's over. And then the fucking hand with the knives come up and grabs the fucking and pulls it down. And you're like, what? This is what? Crazy. Is that Jason's music?
The only one I saw in the theater was Freddy vs. Jason. I saw that one in the theater.
I still would have been too young for that.
Yeah, so did I.
I hope they bring him back. I want that franchise back.
Of course they...
No, it's legal issues right now. That's why they had to shut that game down.
Yeah, that's true.
The Jason part, I should say, not the Freddy stuff.
What's going on?
Oh, no, Michael Myers. I always get Michael Myers and Jason mixed up every time.
By the way, apparently that movie is absolute trash.
The new Halloween?
The new Halloween,
yeah. Oh, I heard the opposite. I heard it was all right.
I heard that it's just not very scary.
I heard not scary. Like,
there's a certain... Like, in 2018, people expect a certain level of quality from their movies, I think. And like CGI and effects and stuff like that plays a big part. But, like, you go back and watch some of those, like, the original Friday the 13th, and, like, they didn't have a big budget. So there's a certain, like the shittiness almost adds to it. It's
like
more real
the
that
campy
way.
factor in those old
practical
horror movies.
Effects.
Whereas now it's too fancy. Like, you don't gotta try that hard for horror movies. Make them simple.
Well, it's like what was that one? they're in the forest, and
That narrows it down.
Blair Witch.
Blair Witch, yes.
Oh,
That's,
okay.
That's the same kind of thing. Like Blair Witch, very, very low budget movie, and
You hear the rumor they returned the cameras to Best Buy after they were done filming.
Really?
Is how low the budget was, apparently.
Yeah.
but yeah, it's like that's like the quintessential like low budget horror movie where none of the scares rely on like jump scares,
Yeah,
or none of the
stinger
scares
music.
rely on like good CGI or anything like that, or crazy scary
I like a
looking
good
monsters.
psychological horror.
Me
That's
too.
those are my
Me
jams.
Saw.
I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not big on. I don't mind gore, but I'm not big on jumpers.
Saw is 100% a
Yeah.
psych thriller. It is gory and disguises itself
Those
as a horror
moments
movie.
at the end where you're like, oh,
But yeah,
fuck, you were
Saw-
all supposed to do a little bit of the things instead of one
Yeah.
guy dying at each step.
It's so good.
Fuck.
That's the second game.
Yeah.
Or the
great.
second movie.
Oh, I know it. I guess
Have you
I
seen
know
the
what
most
you mean.
recent one? The one that like last year, Jigsaw or whatever came out?
No,
Like Saw 14?
Because I would like to see it.
yeah, I've seen them
It's
all
gonna,
except the
suck.
last one.
It's gonna suck because the one before it sucked, but I still want to see it just because
Yeah,
it's.
I've seen 1 through
movie.
6, so we should probably. Sure, I'm in for that.
'Kay, done.
We watched. We had our Halloween. It was a stream goal. We watched Halloween movies. We watched Alien. Speaking of
yeah.
old horror films with practical effects, fuck that film still totally holds up.
Sigourney.
Yeah, her tiny underwear at the end of that movie are hilarious. Hilarious.
Yep.
Holy shit, did I laugh my ass off? Because you could see his. Was they? The as we were watching it, people in the chat, because everyone's seen it 20 billion times except me apparently. Apparently they use like a lot of old meat for all that. Just like, oh, this scene of the face hugger, like this is a chicken breast. You're like, that is a chicken breast. Holy shit! And just like the way that practical effects are so fascinating. Like, go watch The Thing, the old Thing where they melt that dude. Like, man.
Well, even like that's like a new. Well, I shouldn't say a new thing, but it's a
No,
the
original Thing, 87 or whatever it was.
It's like it's a current trend in movies now is to like be moving away from CGI and back to
Make
like
it real.
made
Yeah,
sets and
it
like
looks so good.
like big kaiju monsters that are made out of fucking 3 guys dressed up in a suit kind of thing.
Star Wars models as
Yeah.
opposed to Star Wars shit. That's not gonna happen. I'm just kidding.
Well, should we go for a quick break here and we'll come back do some news? It is 4:41 a.m.
Yes.
Mountain Standard Time.
Just really quickly,
Getting through
I since last I podcasted, which has been a while, I played Detroit.
Oh, Detroit.
That game's very good.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
We should do a spoiler cast.
We should.
Okay. All right.
I'm
well,
just floating it.
I'll put that on the list.
I know that it's tough because you guys haven't played it for a lot longer than I have, but
Put it on
that
the list.
game is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Did that come out this year too?
Yep.
Yeah, it did.
Good.
Yep.
If that game wins Game of the
No,
Year,
it's not. No, there's no way.
Honestly,
I'll tell you right now.
honestly,
There's
if
no way.
Detroit did win Game of the Year, I would have to leave the show.
You
I
can
would
talk me
not
into
be
it because
okay
that
with
game is very
It's
good.
good.
And it's super unique.
Shitty, janky.
No, it's
I
not.
didn't
It's
have any.
It's pretty.
it's fine.
It's pretty like polished.
Yeah.
I think, and very cohesive.
And
And
the amount of outcomes and possibilities are
Yeah.
incredible.
Sure.
yeah,
Without spoiling my own list, it is shaping up as a man who owns an Xbox and not a PlayStation. The top portion of my list is majority PlayStation exclusive this
Hell
year.
of a year for Sony.
yeah, wild.
Yeah. We'll go for a quick break. We'll come right back, finish this podcast, and then it's on to 23 more hours or whatever of streaming. Warren's crotch chopping. You suck it on the other side of this musical break. I've always been, this whole show, I've been pointing at a camera that is in the other room that is usually here. See you in just a sec. I gotta pee and get a water.
How did your Detroit story go?
What specifically do you want to know?
Um,
I had a lot of
you
differences.
can keep
from
that mic in
Brando.
front of your face while you're
That
talking.
mic, yeah, talk to the people on the podcast.
I was gonna step away, but yeah, sure.
Oh.
Yes. Ending. How
Um,
did it turn out for all your
Any water,
characters?
too? Please. Who lived? Big black dude died
At what point?
on the boat.
Yes, mine too.
Guys pulled up. I accelerated to try and get away from them. So like the options were like use him as a shield, cover the child, or accelerate. And I accelerated, and he got shot. As did the kid.
Ooh.
And then I got out and pushed the boat in the freezing water. Made it.
You were escaping on a boat?
Yeah.
That's not.
So
with me.
The difference there was because I remember Brando saying that he didn't make it on the boat either. Shit. Oh, I didn't steal the lady's train ticket or the bus ticket. When you're finally getting out and there's like, oh, she dropped her tickets. You could steal them. I gave them back.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So then I went in the van with the black lady who housed you for a bit.
Yeah.
She takes you to like the border on the river, and you get in boats.
Oh.
And then like the 5-0 show up in their own boats. So I got to the other side. Kid died, black guy died. I lived. It gives me the option. Do you want to kill yourself or keep going? And I just kept going. So she lived.
Oh, that's the boat you're talking about. Because
Yes.
what's his name? Luther?
Yeah, Luther. That's his name.
He died in the escape from Jericho for me.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
and he got captured, which I don't even think that's optional. I think he has to get captured in Jericho. No, actually, no, because I tried to save him and I did.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you made
you're right.
it to the border with him.
But he still ended up. We split up with him somewhere, where like I caught up to him.
Oh.
And he was like on his knees, and they had him and another guy lined up, and they were going to shoot him, and I ended up like sneaking around and breaking him out of there.
That's wild. You gave the tickets back to that. Look, you're a nice guy.
Hey, I was for her. She was nice.
Oh.
She was nice. I
That's
forget who I played like an asshole though.
Connor, probably.
No, I was really like. Well, I shouldn't say. I was really good friends with the cop.
Yeah? The cop did not like my Connor.
How did your Connor end up?
Connor, so then...
Did you get to that room with all of the AIs and you're trying to like wake them up?
No. It ended up with him on the roof trying to snipe Marcus. And then he had the altercation with the cop. Pushed the cop off.
You killed lover Hank?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
And then they had a he went down onto the battlefield and had like a fist fight with Marcus.
See, when you first confront Marcus on the Jericho, I joined. I broke. I went. What is it? Devious?
Deviant? No.
Became deviant with him there, and then he ends up going to like the headquarters of the AI. Place.
Yeah.
And there's like a fucking factory warehouse full of them, and he goes in there to like touch them to like wake them up to the same way that the
Marcus
leader guy does. And another Connor shows up and is like, can't do that. And he's got Hank with a fucking gun to his head because me and Hank were tight. And he's like, I have all your memories. I know how much you care about this fucking guy. You can't.
That's cool.
You can't. I'll kill him if you do anything, whatever. So it gave me the option of, do I save Hank or do I just go for the mission? I reached out for the mission. He didn't shoot Hank. He knocked him out or something. Ended up shooting me. And then he like walks up to you or whatever, and like he's like, so you're laid down, you're looking up at the other Connor, and he's like, calls you a fool or whatever, and aims a gun at you. And then I ended up having an option because I had somehow brought a gun with me, which is an alternate thing where I knocked out a guard and picked up his gun. Ended up picking that up and fucking shot him in the head real quick. Reached out, grabbed the AIs, and then they all woke up. So like a chain reaction. Like one guy woke up and he's like, "Oh shit!" and he wakes everybody else up, and then the whole warehouse. And then I think Connor ended up dying.
How did Marcus turn out for you?
That's
That's so fucking cool.
lived, I believe.
Did so again they had the fist fight on the battlefield and Marcus ended up defeating Connor there, and then he went on to this revolution was like considered successful, and that was pretty much the end of my story.
Yeah. Were you peaceful or were you
No,
aggressive?
it was violent.
I was very peaceful with mine, like the whole way through. To the point where like it got to the end and like we had like this barricade thing set up, and like the cops are like starting to take us out one by one, and I just kept like, I kneeled down. I was like, nope. Like we're not here to attack. Whatever, we're good.
You and me.
Okay.
And then they ended up being like, they called off the guns, and then they eventually like threw grenades or some smoke grenades in there. I think it ended peacefully though. Like I think like once the whole fucking horde of the ones that I woke up as Connor showed up, that they like, I remember the president being like,
Stand down.
we need to reconsider our stance, and like it was a successful thing that
Yeah,
they were.
me too.
Mine was blood and fire. Yeah.
That's what Brando said too. And I'd like to Like, that game has some replay ass value.
Yeah.
To go back and just literally everything I did, do it the exact opposite and just see how it works. Now it
Did you
looks-
see the bear?
Yeah, I let him out.
Gosh.
I think we talked. I don't know if it was on the podcast, but so how did your bear factor in? Did he?
I think he was involved in the chase, kind of in the
Did he
get out of the house chase.
attack that homeowner
I
guy?
think he attacked someone. Yeah, I think he
'Cause
saved my
they're-
bacon.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, because your guy came out like right at the end, and the house owner came out, and then the bear attacked him, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So
Something
I
like that.
also let out all of the fucked up guys that he had messed with in the basement,
Yeah, me too.
and they swarmed him and mine. And then as we're like walking away, it just like the bear just ran like "Roar," and just like walks
walks
in
fast.
the background. And I'm like, "You're free, brother."
My man. Join the cause.
Lenny, my boy.
We'll get this going again once OJ gets back. I kind of got a dough make.
Yeah, I popped a little pill this morning, preemptive pill, because I figured I was probably gonna get one.
I think I might have some like expired drugs.
I'll take it.
Yeah, let me see.
We'll do it after the show.
Okay.
I'll survive.
We can always make a run at some point too.
Could just be a water thing.
Yeah, I gotta get
Agua.
hydrated. I'm like, I didn't really eat supper last night because I'm like, I'm not gonna get home from work at 5:30, cook until 6 o'clock, eat, and then go to sleep. So I like had a little bit of, I like 2 pieces of beef jerky, and I'm like, well, that's probably enough.
That'll hold me.
So I'm getting fucking hungry. My
Yeah,
stomach
me
has been
too.
rumbling.
When you started talking about the Blair Witch Project, all I could think about was the Blair Pimp Project and Bubbles fucking running in. I ain't never been so frisky in my entire life. Fuck. That's
Oh,
why I
yeah.
started laughing randomly.
All right, let's come back talk about more Red Dead Redemption. Woo! Quick little news story. Apparently, that game made over $725 million in its opening weekend, making it the biggest opening weekend in entertainment history,
Entertainment, including movies and television?
including every form of entertainment.
Good.
Sports entertainment also probably included. It still didn't beat out GTA 5, actually, which did $1 billion in its first 3 days, but it came out on Tuesday, so it's a little apples to oranges.
That makes sense, though, because there's like, old people know what Grand Theft Auto
Yeah,
is.
GTA
They're afraid of Grand
5,
Theft Auto. Yeah.
which is a series that has been around
Sure.
for 20 years, versus Red Dead, which has been around for...
And
well,
there's that
Revolver,
stigma
but-
around Grand Theft Auto of like, oh, the kids are breaking laws because they're doing it in video games,
Yeah.
whereas people don't know what
Why
Red Dead is.
would the Tuesday release? I mean, I know Tuesday is like the standard day for
Releases.
games to come out, but you'd think like a Friday release would help sales.
It might have. It probably
No,
did.
but I
this
mean,
is just
I
a
think it's-
caveat for comparing...
GTA releasing on Tuesday
Hmm.
has Wednesday, Thursday, Friday plus the weekend. That's the opening weekend, wouldn't it be?
Well, no,
it's a
3-day
span.
period, right?
Yeah. It's just a little... I think the distinction is it's a little
okay.
apples to oranges.
Yeah.
Of like, I'm sure what day you come out totally affects sales, but I don't know how.
Did Grand Theft Auto launch with PC?
Nope,
No.
that came like a year and a half later.
I think GTA just has more cachet with like everybody than Red
Yeah.
Dead does,
It's the whole, I don't like cowboys.
and also you and I
Yeah.
are considered one buy. So that's we're shutting down the industry.
Shutting down the
Kev.
industry.
I'm breaking it.
I'm okay with
Oh.
They're sharing their copy.
Oh, I thought
One buy.
one like a person.
buy.
One buy. You and I are considered one buy. Together, we're better together. You know, our some of our parts we're one buy. You and I are one buy.
Yes, buy.
Yes, buy. BlizzCon, I think, is this week. I don't know where this news came from. There's a Warcraft 3 remaster coming next year.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
That was released. That was announced a couple days ago, I think.
Yeah.
I watched some of the Overwatch stuff yesterday. They got a new hero. Female cowgirl looking thing.
Of course.
And I watched some of the like Facebook Live stuff, and then kind of got a little bit of a hankering to play Overwatch.
So
I-
they get you.
So I booted up my Overwatch to get my summer skins because I knew that those wouldn't be expired on November 2nd. And sure enough, they weren't there. Ah!
It's called Warcraft Reforged. I guess first question before we get into this: anybody play Warcraft 3 back in the day?
Yep.
I played 2. I played a bit of 3, but
2 is great.
It was such a drastic change from Warcraft 2
It
that I
was.
was like, I couldn't get into it.
This was like the game for me. This was like I had one game on the computer. It was Warcraft 3. It was the only game I had for like 5 years or whatever because I was super young. Warcraft 3 was my game. I'm super stoked for it.
Yeah, I'll get in on that.
Hell yeah. Play some. So they have a bunch of new features, including a new world editor, which means mods are supported. Which means like that map maker was already, you could do all sorts of wild shit with it, and then StarCraft 2 came along and really doubled down on it. I bet you'll be able to make some pretty cool custom maps.
To find mods.
I don't know. It's the
Like,
story
can I
just
make-
says mods are supported. I don't know if they're
My
using.
peons are Macho Man Randy Savage.
Well, that's I don't know if they're interchanging mods and like custom maps. I don't know if they're using the same both words interchangeably here.
Yes, me lord. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Work.
That means two things for wrestlers.
Yep. It's out in 2019 as remastered maps, remodeled characters. The campaign levels are done over, upgraded UI, 4K support, modern matchmaking, and quote hundreds of balance changes. I don't know how much that'll cost. Probably $40, I'm guessing.
You know who's going to love that? Monch.
Loves.
The
Is he a Warcraft 3? I know he's a World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I know. He's the reason that I played Warcraft 3. He gave me his copy. He's pretty stoked on that, too.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. We should all get together and play some Warcraft.
Oh, yeah. Get our battle.nets fired up. Except it's not called that anymore.
Bring all our
is.
computers over, have a LAN party.
They went back around. It is Battle.net.
Really?
again.
They went back around?
Yeah, they went
Oh,
back
shit.
around.
Good. That's the right move.
You watch any of that Nintendo Direct? Smash Direct? We got a bunch of new characters. Ken, who is an Echo, it turns out, for Ryu.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe has like a couple differences.
So when... stupid question. Echo is like... It's just... It's not like just like a alternate skin for Ken. It's his own character, but they're just the same kind of moveset
Yeah,
with a few
like
different
Marth
variances.
and
Okay,
Cena
yeah,
or whatever her
yeah,
name is.
yeah.
Your boy Incineroar, who is apparently a Pokemon. He's a wrestling fire cat Pokemon who does like after every move taunts the crowd, like does a crotch chop or like puts his hands up. And he looks really weird, like a really weird pace to his play because you have these taunts after each move that are happening. He's got a set of ring ropes. He can Irish whip someone and make a set of ring ropes, and then they come back to him.
I'm excited to see what his map is going to look like, or if they give him one, what his home
Oh
world
yeah, hopefully like
stage,
a big,
that's what I'm looking for.
hopefully a wrestling stadium on fire.
Well, they already have like the boxing ring, which is pretty great.
I don't know
for
if I've played
Little
on the
Mac.
boxing ring.
You can like if you step on the ropes, it fucking bounces you up and shit.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty great.
What else did they announce? Piranha Plant is a post-launch character, not PD Piranha.
Don't call me Petey, because
Not PD Piranha.
I'm a white one. I'm not a red one.
Completely different. And I believe PD has the shorts on too. PD can like get out and walk. Piranha Plant can't get out of his pipe
is
or
a
pot. Or,
Trophy,
What is
I
the
think.
bottom of Piranha Plant in this game? Is it a pipe?
I think it's a pot. I think it's
Or
a
a
flower
pot.
pot.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think it is a flower pot because I remember thinking that he looked just like part of villagers.
Just give him like leaves for like feet.
I'm way in on this
little
if
legs.
he can't move.
Plants vs Zombies.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Piranha Plant. I'm gonna take a look. The world has to know.
Is it like hopping around?
He's on. Yeah, he's in a plant. He's in a flower pot.
This is what I'm most concerned about.
I don't.
As far as Smash goes.
See,
The
I
Piranha
think
Plant
the
move.
best way that they could have done it, and this
He
is
is,
definitely
yeah.
not
He's
how they
hopping
would have
around.
done it, but the plant, the base of the plant pot is stationary. The Piranha Plant head is the hitbox, and it just moves on a big stalk around the entire map. So it moves like a regular character, except it's attached to this stationary thing.
How do you knock it off? If it like falls, would it just like hang?
Well, when it falls, it would probably like if it falls far enough that it would fall, then it would like drag the pot off with it.
I don't know. I have no idea how it plays. I
That
did
would be
not watch
excellent
this.
as like, what are the big chain ball things? Chain chomps.
chomps.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh, yeah.
perfect as a chain chomp.
That
Yeah.
would be.
That idea.
They're really just fucking peppering as much shit into this game as they can.
This is
man.
apparently
So
the last
much.
character. 79, I think, is the
believe.
final. 78 or 79 characters.
Believe
or
that
80
when
or
I
whatever.
see it.
And they have 5 scheduled for post, 6 scheduled for post-release. Piranha Plant's coming post-release. If you buy the game before, I think it's January. I wrote December on this sheet, but I think it's before January, before the end of December. You get Piranha Plant for free. Otherwise, they're $5 each. Has a story mode, kind of like Subspace Emissary.
Thank God.
I loved Subspace Emissary.
Me too.
This one's called World of Light. The trailer is all the fighters. This light washes over the fighters, and they all get turned into their statues, except for Kirby. Because Kirby's dope as hell. Kirby
That-
ain't getting turned into no statue.
Screenshot of him standing on the edge of that, looking out onto the world is fucking pretty epic too.
Yeah, that's all I got here. $6 for each of these DLCs.
So, do we know who? You said there's 5 DLC characters.
And I don't
Have those been announced, or are those still?
No, not yet. I don't think.
I want another Kong. Selfishly, I want another Kong.
There's a good chance. There's probably a good chance.
Fucking Cranky. Give me Cranky in this fucking game.
I don't know. Did we need another
Funky.
Pokemon? I sort of wish we didn't. I guess it makes sense to have a modern gen Pokemon in there,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
is Incineroar a starter? I had never heard of Incineroar. I never felt old until I heard of Incineroar. I was like, what is this, like one of them?
No.
Digimon? What is this? Oh, it's a Pokemon. The PlayStation Classic lineup got announced. Who wants to hear it? Okay.
Some of the games are interesting.
Yeah.
I know of like 3 games on this list.
I know
Really?
of most of
Yeah.
these.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that.
I never had a PlayStation 1.
I'm surprised at that.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just surprised.
I was an N64 boy until PlayStation 2 came out.
Hell yeah, brother.
Okay. Just me then, hey?
64 boy.
And
As being a PlayStation boy, these are all games that I'm familiar with, and
Let's play Battle Arena Toshinden.
Not a good
game. No, it is not.
Nope.
Cool Borders 2 is a good game.
yeah, sure. I was never into the snowboarding games ever,
Destruction.
but I know that one was good.
Destruction Derby I've never played.
That game was cool. Very cool.
Final Fantasy Vi. Am I reading this right?
Yeah, that's
V actually.
V2. Final Fantasy V. Final Fantasy 5 2. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Whatever that is. Grand Theft Auto, which
is the
top-down
version.
the
Yeah.
first the
Yep.
rough
Yeah.
top-down
yeah,
one.
real shitty.
Yeah, it was weird for sure, and I mean that game has come a long way, right? For
Oh yeah,
sure.
yep. Intelligent Cube.
You're on long deck, you're a man, and the cubes are coming at you, and you have to get past them to the very
I
end.
know what that game is. Yep. Jumping Flash.
Robot Bunny on the cover. That's all I remember that game.
It sounds like an early 2000 ass name, like generic fucking.
Robot Flash.
What do the kids
Jumping-
love?
Sounds like something that came from Japan.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Mr. Driller.
That one I've never actually heard of.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've played a little Mr. Driller every now and again.
Are you like a small thing with a drill nose?
You're like kind of a here. Well, look up Mr. Driller.
Driller. I barely know her.
That Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey.
Great game.
Rayman.
Also a great game.
Everybody loves him. Resident Evil Director's Cut.
Incredible game.
Yeah.
Does not hold up.
Okay.
Also, there's like a million like remakes of that.
A lot.
Yep.
Yes, a lot of ways to play the first Resident Evil. Revelations Persona.
This one's interesting because I actually did play that game, and this one's like super obscure though.
The first Persona game.
Yeah.
It's not that obscure.
It's
It's obscure here.
It was obscure back then.
Yes, Shin Megami Tensei
Yeah.
games were.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Mm-hmm. No idea.
Ridge Racer Type 4.
Racing ass.
That's
racing
the one
game.
you want. I think, right?
I don't know. As far as Ridge Racer goes, sure.
Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo.
Incredible game.
Hell
Still holds up.
Yes, and also not a lot of good ways to play Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo these days.
No.
Siphon Filter.
Yep.
Let's try and name the main character from Siphon Filter.
Gabe Logan.
Gabe Logan. Hell
Knew
yeah.
it. Knew it.
Tekken 3.
And a thing that also includes Battle Arena Toshinden, like Tekken 3. I don't know why they would even include Battle Arena Toshinden.
Hold on to that. Why would they even include thought as we discuss Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six?
Is this the one where you sort of plan out the mission?
Yes.
And
it
then
is.
you have like strike teams? Weird.
Yep.
I don't even remember that on the original PlayStation. I remember playing that on PC.
I played this one on. I rented this on N64, and
Holy, that must have been super rudimentary then.
I mean, I'm sure it's just as bad as it was on the PlayStation. But yeah, I got to the planning stage of the first mission because it's like I don't even know how long it took me to plan this first mission, and then so I planned everything out. And then I was confused because after I planned everything out, I could just completely ignore all that shit and just do whatever I want. I'm like, what the fuck is the point of planning everything? So I did the first mission, and then after that, I didn't plan anything, and I just like skipped the planning stage. And
I would always set the first waypoint because you have to do that, and then I would just take the one team that I liked or whatever and just do it all.
yeah,
And then it would all go to shit.
Heroes. One squad's a hero.
Yeah.
Twisted Metal. The first Twisted Metal.
Hmm.
I think they fucked up by not putting 2 on there.
Yeah, 2 is definitely
two
way
was-
better
two
than
is the
1.
way to go for sure.
And Wild Arms.
Wild Arms is great.
Is that a fighting game?
Nope, it's an RPG.
I don't know if I've ever...
You're a kid with blue hair, you're a treasure hunter with blonde hair, and you're a chick, and that's pretty much as far as I really know about it, but I remember it was very fun. Very puzzle-oriented,
Why not Twisted Metal 2? Are they going to put another one of these out?
maybe.
Or an update or something?
Probably.
It seems crazy to have... And, like, they got Cool Borders, too.
But yeah, that's what I mean. At the same time, there's 4 of Ridge Racer and not the original. Like,
Is it... Ridge Racer Type 4 was Ridge Racer 1 on PS1.
okay,
I think Type 4 is a type of car, right? Or a type
that
of
makes
type
sense.
of race or something. I don't honestly know too much about it.
Don't know.
The Japanese lineup's a little bit different. They've got Arc the Lad and Arc the Lad 2. We don't get that.
These selections are weird. Like, why? Like,
Armored Core. Gradius Gaiden, which I didn't even know was a game. Devil Dice. I don't know what a lot of these are. Saga
I
Frontier?
remember Saga Frontier.
yeah, I remember that one too.
That was one of the Square Soft games that totally got overshadowed by Final Fantasy 2.
Yeah. It honestly had to think about what the hell you just said. G. Darius.
Don't know what that is.
No, Parasite Eve I've heard of. I don't know.
That's a
really
great
what that
game.
is.
That is a great game. It's like another SquareSoft game that was an RPG that was set in like modern times. You're a lady heroine, and you dealt. It was super different. It
was more like an action RPG
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, in the shadow of Final Fantasy, but it got its due.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Castlevania. No Symphony of the Night. Which, I mean, there are 10 billion ways to play that now, including they just put out a remaster of it, so that probably makes a lot of sense. But I don't know. Any obvious exclusions that you can remember back other than Twisted Metal 2? Like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
wrestling,
On the PS1?
WWF SmackDown. Yeah,
PS1 SmackDown? Crazy. Don't
it's
remember.
SmackDown 1 and SmackDown and SmackDown 2.
I bet that would be a licensing.
mouth.
Oh yeah,
nightmare.
100%. It's a licensing.
Yeah. Maybe that's the reason with
That-
Twisted Metal 2 didn't have any like licensed music or anything, I don't think. Actually,
It
or
might.
did it have a bunch? It
think
either
it
had
might have
none
had
or it either had a ton. I can't remember.
I just came across a thing where having the Eiffel Tower in anything is kind of a copyright infringement.
Oh yeah, I wonder about, or like what about the Statue of Liberty and
I don't know about the Statue of Liberty,
wonder about all
but
that.
I know that the Eiffel Tower has a light design on it that is copyright like registered,
interesting.
and you can't have it in like pictures or whatever. And I know one of the levels in Twisted Metal 2 was that Paris
Eiffel Tower, yeah.
It'd be funny if they just put that out and it was just like a big giant dick pixelated out. Just like,
Skyscraper.
there's nothing to see here.
You can blow it up, I think. I
Yeah,
remember
you
Twisted
can-
Metal 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blow
Never
the
played those
warp
games.
into it.
Really?
I remember seeing the trailers for them everywhere and like commercials all over the place, but I never had a PS1.
In
so.
the day, they were great.
Yeah,
Going back to
they're
them
very
now, you're like, what the fuck is this?
They should really consider making one with like that Batmobile control, because that was incredible. The Batmobile control from
yeah.
Arkham
Night.
Yes.
How about like Rocket League car control, where
Also
like
that,
you can
yeah.
fly around and shit? I mean, Rocket League they added weapons and they sort of went down that path.
Boy, did that suck.
Yeah. Podcast at talkingreckless.com is an email address.
Sorry. Do we think is this just gonna continue? Like, are we gonna PS2 mini? Like, are they gonna keep going? Do you think, or is there a ceiling on this? What they can do with
N64
this?
is up next. I think the PS2 is probably where you draw the line.
I think the ceiling is anything. They'll probably do PS2. There's no way they do PS3.
The PS2 is like every game in the universe. The PS2 had an open license where every single video game ever is on the PS2. Like, what is
the opportunity for expansion on these things? Like, is there a USB on the back where you can?
So far, no, nothing, zero. They're sealed up. You could probably crack it open.
Because there's just like, I mean, having how many, like 20 games?
Yeah,
is kind of super limiting, right? They could easily. I don't know how easy it is, but they could totally like put a USB on and then have extra games.
Oh yeah, totally.
Right?
I mean, they could just give you a bigger hard drive and put 1,000 games on there.
They won't
So
though,
that-
because as soon as they have a USB port, well, now you're just putting the games on yourself now.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
I think it has to be
yeah.
a sealed encased thing that you can't get into and fuck with. Because honestly, you can make yourself a little PS1 for like $5.
Yeah, I guess you could.
Does the tray open or the flap open on this thing?
I don't believe so. I don't know. It's not a real disk drive or
no.
anything.
Oh, of
because
course, but I just
the-
wondered if it would even open. Or...
The flap on the NES one doesn't open. So
Huh.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Well, the buttons on the Super Nintendo work, right? Like the on-off and the reset, like slider.
I'm not sure. I don't have the Super Nintendo.
They do on the NES one. They do. The buttons are.
I think I remember reading that the eject button on the PS1 Classic does something to resets it, or
Puts you back to the like
yeah.
Oh yeah,
the
okay.
screen for like
Hub
save
menu.
states, and I
Yeah.
wonder if they'll have that stuff. I wonder if you'll be able to like save state, and saving in video games used to be real bad,
Yep.
real fucking bad.
PS2, like that fucking those goddamn memory cards were fucking currency back in the day.
Oh
So
yeah.
expensive.
God damn it.
Podcast talkingreckless.com is an email address. I was seeing if anybody had any closing. They should have put this game in.
Resident Evil 2.
I'm excited for PS2. I want them to do a PS2 one.
What is it going to be? What are the games going to be? What do you do with the PS2? Tekken 4. Tekken 4 definitely has to be on there.
Gran Turismo.
Oh,
I think there's
there could be a
huge-
Gran Turismo. Was there a Gran Turismo on PS1?
Yeah.
Was
Vice City?
I think there's huge like licensing issues with Gran Turismo.
Probably,
and also Grand Theft Auto. You would never see.
gotta hold up,
You
though.
would never see. I don't think you. They're gonna remaster Vice City. They're not gonna give it to you on.
That's true, I guess.
There's no way. There's too much. That's too. That franchise makes too much money to have to put it on.
Oh,
one
a
of these little
remastered
things.
Vice City would be.
I think I'd rather
great.
San Andreas.
None of these are remastered, by the
Remastered.
way.
No.
Oh, just in general. I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, these
yeah.
are all just original. That Metal Gear is gonna look and sound terrible.
I think it'll sound fine.
The
Like,
voice acting is so bad in the
Okay,
original
yeah,
cut.
yeah.
It's so bad.
Matrix Revelations. What are the game that you hated? Put that one on there. Love that game.
Return of either Return of the King or
Fuck
Wait,
yeah.
you won't get any movie games. You obviously wouldn't be able to get any movie games like
Yeah, I know.
licensing and
I know.
I don't know that fucking Playboy game that I always saw at Rogers for the PS2, whatever that was.
Yeah, the like rated M or
Yeah.
adult or whatever. Where you're like,
Hell
titties in this
yeah.
game? What's the deal with this thing?
Rated AO.
Yeah.
Podcast.talkingreckless.com is an email address, or drop this on our subreddit r/talkingreckless. Brandon wrote in. He says, howdy, Reckless Talkers. Howdy, Reckless Talkers.
Brandon, my boy.
Brandon, my boy. I pre-ordered Red Dead Redemption 2 from Amazon Canada for $50 last year during an E3 promotion.
Damn.
That's $30 less than retail. Shortly before the game's release, I received an email from Amazon saying that my copy of the game will take an extra 2 weeks, maybe more, before it'll actually be shipped to me. I really want to play the game, but I also really want to save that $30. So far, I've been able to exercise patience and have held off canceling my pre-order and picking the game up somewhere else. But boy, howdy, has it been difficult at times. Everyone, please turn to page 3. The whole ordeal got me thinking, what's the farthest length any of you have gone just to save some money on something, games or otherwise? Well, my friends Oliver and Kevin and I go thirdsies on physical discs these days because times are tough.
I'm just super tough.
Holy fuck.
Physical discs are the way to go.
I mean, currently, yeah.
I mean, if you're
I'm totally down for it. I don't ever have time to play like games,
Yeah, so getting in at half price at least,
Or
Yeah.
Thursday price.
or
yeah.
Thursdays, and
and then
not
just
worrying
having
about
it,
it.
yeah, just having it a little bit later. It wasn't a big deal to me.
Yeah.
With Spider-Man, I was like, fuck, I really want to play this game, and also with Red Dead, I really want to play this game, but I truly don't have time to play games, so I'm okay with it.
I did the old, like, back in the day, someone would bring all their PC games to a friend's house, and you would make 15 copies of each of them for everyone. Like, oh, here's everyone who wants Diablo 1. Diablo, okay, we'll make copies of just, like, ripping CDs. It used to be so easy.
Didn't they start coming out with CD keys for that? Like
Yeah, but
Blizzard
they were,
games in particular.
they
I
were
remember.
usually...
Yeah, you just
Yeah, the key
go
generators.
online and be like, hey, I need a key for
key
this
gen,
game.
or like early ones you could literally just copy paste. A lot of them would just be a set phrase. It'd be like, what is the fifth word on
really?
page
Yeah. 17
of the manual, and you would be like, oh, the key is like whatever driver, because it's talking about the graphics drivers. That was probably, and then doing the thirdsies now, I guess, is
Yeah.
probably the most money saving links. This is the first time in my life I've kind
Games
of
are
ever,
fucking expensive.
first time in my life I've kind of ever gave a shit about it. It used to just be
Me
like,
too.
$80, whatever. Here we go.
Me
Another
too.
game, another game, another game, another game, another game. And now here we are. Humble bundles. I will buy things on Humble bundles that I don't think I'll ever play, because maybe one day I'll want to, and I better get it cheap now, because it won't be on sale when I want it.
Yeah. I don't really have anything. Like, I also am getting to the point. Like, this is kind of the first year where I've really exercised my... Because, like, fucking every year for the past at least 4 or 5, I buy NHL on launch day or pre-order, whatever.
WWE.
Come December, it's on sale at fucking half price. And I'm like, well, I've played it 3 times since it came out. Why the fuck do I keep doing this? WWE's another one. Call of Duty is another one that even last year I was the first one in a couple years that I bought. Maybe played it 15 times, sort of thing. So I'm really starting to learn to take it easy and see if I really want to do it, and not buy Battlefield and hate it immediately.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm sitting on Battlefield. Oh, I didn't pull the story. I want to add something to news. Battlefield 5 is not launching with microtransactions. They're being added after the fact, like a week or 2 weeks after, whatever.
Come on, you guys.
So conspiracy theory here. I keep looking at that fucking camera that's not there. Conspiracy theory here. They are going to wait for the reviews to drop and then put in their fucking shit-ass EA microtransaction, which, I mean, they've probably learned their lesson, you would hope, from Battlefront, but not adding your microtransactions until reviews come out is the fucking scuzziest shit. Also, half that game isn't even out for another 9 months.
we had
Like,
that story last
That
week.
shooting range thing is
Don't-
fucking
Yeah.
outstanding.
Don't, whatever. Spend your money how you want, but
Battlefield 1
ONE.
free on Games with Gold this month.
Oh, hell yeah. I really
Which
like
is a good
Battlefield
get
1.
if you're into that sort of thing.
You should be. It's a great Battlefield game, especially if no one's going to move on and play this next one, because it's all
If you're
transaction to hell or what. Like, it's not out yet. Maybe it's fine.
I
but,
don't like that game, but if I'm playing with friends, that's a fun ass
I
game
really
to
like
play.
that game. It's a good Battlefield.
Yep.
One of the better Battlefields, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Any other?
There's a question in chat.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's from Jojo.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the largest animal you could kill with a rock is?
Are we?
Squirrel.
What are the limitations
No,
on
I
the
couldn't even
rock? Are we
catch a
assuming like? It's,
I'd say like one hand.
can it be like as big
I mean,
as I?
whatever,
can I,
whatever you think. Whatever you think is reasonably
Okay.
Yeah, that's
wieldable
true.
in order to take this animal down.
without it taking
biggest animal?
Yeah. And it's gonna be defending itself. It's not just gonna be.
I'd say like a small, like a mule, not a full size horse, like a little horse. You know,
Pony.
I bet I could do a pony. Yeah, with like a big rock and just.
Yeah, I think now that I hear that strategy, I think like a dairy cow, a milk cow.
I was gonna say cow. Fuck you.
Thick skulls. I don't know. I thought a cow too, but cows are big and
they can't really-
strong.
They can't really fight back. Like they'll run away.
I got to think that even if they're trying to fight back, you can dodge a cow pretty easy.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe not holding a giant rock,
Maybe.
but
I mean, if you get that first shot right, you
Encumbered at
at
that
least
point.
knock it out.
It's got to be a good first shot.
And then you just fucking.
I think for some reason in my head, because
Give it to
cows make milk, obviously their bones are very strong. So I don't know if you'd be able to.
that does make sense.
I'm a science man of science. Like I could do a dog easy. You know?
Yeah,
I mean, not mentally easy, but physically probably pretty
Yes.
easy.
Yes.
even with like a average sized rock,
Yeah.
take out a small.
Definitely bigger than a dog. I think definitely smaller than a cow, though. Cow would be probably the upper limit of what I would push my luck on.
You guys, delusions of grandeur around this table. If I could catch a squirrel, I think that would be the biggest thing.
you
But
just-
When you
only
have
if I
to
could
catch
catch
it.
it.
Good aim. You throw a rock at that thing, you
Yeah,
kill
but
it.
you just pick up a rock and you walk into a field and there's a donkey and he goes and you walk up and you gunk down he goes.
Yeah. You better put it down in the one shot because it's mule kicking you.
Not from in front. It's not. It might bite at me.
That's fine. You
And
can
also,
take a donkey
hopefully,
bite.
after the first hit, hopefully it's at least stunned enough that I can get in there for a second. Hopefully, it's not immediately like boom, it headbutts me or whatever.
Donkey's gonna say, "You better put me down in
gonna-
one shot."
All right, hold on.
RKO me out of nowhere.
This conversation remind me of, just to bring it back to Red Dead for just 1 second.
Just the goats.
I was doing one of the missions, one of those wanted poster missions, and there was this giant elk, like magnificent horns, like big buck elk, and I was like sneaking up to where this person was hiding, and this elk sees me, and I'm like, oh shit. It started charging at me,
What?
and it just barreled me over. It like, not with its horns, but like with its chest. It barreled me over with its chest, ran over top of me as I'm falling down, and then just off into the distance.
That's pretty dope.
It was fucking cool.
Have you met a goat yet?
I've not met a goat.
There are billy goats, and they just like take you out at the knees. So the first time you don't even know they exist. So it's like standing up on a high ridge, and a goat comes from behind and takes me out at the knees. I was looking at bounty hunters. Bounty hunters were coming forward, and I was looking down with my sniper, like, you guys are fucked. Goat hits me in the knees. I like accidentally fire a shot in the air, and it just all goes to shit. They're mean. They don't leave either. They just keep headbutting you. Punk ass goats.
When it says big animals
Yeah.
with rocks,
Yeah.
we talking like weight or like overall size?
I think both are okay, yeah.
size, yeah, probably combination.
I feel like you get a big ass pig, take that down, no problem.
I don't think so. Like a boar? Like
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I don't know, man.
Boars are like, they're
Yeah, boars are.
they're
They're pretty
ornery
fishy, right?
motherfuckers.
And like, yeah,
They're
bite.
just a regular pig,
Yeah,
just
maybe.
a really big fucking pig. Walk up to some
a farm
farm,
pig.
They're
and
quick.
just fucking. They're only in a pen.
I don't know. You ever see? Well, I mean, if we're able to chain these things down, and I will change.
What? You give it a little food, get it in there, and then headlock and just fucking boom, 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 boom.
lock in the go, eat a clutch, and go to sleep.
Yeah, as long as I can get that blue whale out of the water, I will fuck that thing up with that rock for 16 hours.
Right in the blowhole.
Podcast at talkingreckless.com is an email address. Join us here on the show. I think that'll probably do it for this extra life edition of the podcast. Kevin Byer, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for making my 3 a.m. a little bit more better.
Oh, hell yeah. Warren Barris.
Don't forget to get your New Year's skins.
Fucking gonna leave at fucking New Year's Day post.
Oliver Aguilar.
I'm really looking forward to playing Legend of Zelda.
I
Got some bad news for you.
Oh no!
Whoops.
Shit!
And you at home.
Oh.
Go back to bed, you at home. If you're listening to this on a Monday, get some sleep.
Yeah. Catch up with us later.
Yeah, absolutely. Come chat with us over on talkingreckless.com/live, where I stream full time, and listen to our brother show, the satpod.podbean.com. We did it all out of order. You at home, thanks for listening also. See you. It'll be the next edition of the 250th, 249th edition of the Talking Reckless podcast. It's 5 a.m. Woo! See you next time.
Surprisingly high energy
Scene.
podcast for
Yeah.
what time it is.
It's nice not having like a time restriction on it. It feels like, you know, it's
So,
real,
we're not in a rush to get the
real
fuck out of
free
here.
Yeah.
flowing and explore the space.
Keep going back to Red Dead.
How long was it? Well, I guess there's
Just
a break
like
in the middle.
just
hours,
over
bit.
2
Over
hours,
2.
average length. Let's stay right in this room and play the tabletop game because we're all around
A
the
donkey
table.
would not kill you. What are you
I
talking? The
think you'd be
donkey
able to
could
do a
not.
donkey.
It could not kill you.
I bet it could. I bet it could
Donkey
bite the shit
I
out
mean,
of
if
you.
it kicked you in the head properly,
And
probably.
they bite,
but,
and they're strong.
fuck, let them bite.
They
If they're biting
they
you,
bite.
then his head's right here, and you fucking crack
And
him
then
in the
back
head.
into the headlock. Yeah,
Whoa.
Jesus.
Like you take one for the team.
Flip them over. Flip
Take
'em
the
over
hit
to
to make the
submission
play.
hold. I'm with you. Risk it for the biscuit.
Fuck that.
This would be a great spot to do.
Also, I'm a little disappointed that you didn't pick it when you said, "Oh, the donkey would probably," and I went, "Oh,
I didn't know what. I didn't know.
the donkey, the singing donkey that we laughed at for fucking 3 hours." That one, right?
Right. Hang on, we gotta see it again. We gotta.
Donkeys are literally
Oh.
used to protect fields of cows from coyotes.
Oh, it was a good thing I didn't remember that. I
Yeah, but
would've
coyotes are
fucking
bitches.
laughed.
Yeah, I could take a coyote down easy with
yeah.
a fucking rock.
Where
They're
did you
pretty
send
quick.
that to me in our?
Yeah, Slack.
Hang on, we gotta find the singing donkey.
Just if you fucking YouTube,
Singing donkey.
yeah, I'm sure it'll show up.
So majestic. Nature's so beautiful.
Just
Oh yeah,
hitting that high
Harriet.
note.
Harriet the singing donkey.
Boom, old
Okay.
Harriet.
Okay. Oh,
That's a good ad. Sponsored podcast.
this is the backup guitar for Harriet. This is Harriet's backup music. Okay, hang on. Shows a donkey.
Huge dicks.
Shows a donkey.
Yeah, let it give it time. It
Yeah.
takes about 10 seconds before he gets into it.
Does Brando still plan on coming in?
Yeah.
Maybe
Later,
he can
later
bring
this
the Wii
evening.
U. And then, no, you don't have a disc. Shit.
It's, hang on. We gotta like. It's just a donkey like making its noise, but it. Hang on. It's donkey. Making donkey noises.
Oh,
And then.
the vibrato is just on point.
Oh man. Okay, so we're gonna move this. We're all gonna grab our mics and we're gonna move into the other room. There is just a little bit of like basic Skeleton Crew setup. So the stream will go down for just a moment because I gotta move this internet over there.
And just because it goes down doesn't mean this still counts.
It does still count.
Still
It
counts
does
for time.
It does still count. This is an unavoidable issue, unfortunately. Well, I guess the only not unavoidable, but here we are. Just give a sec. I gotta save this podcast and everything. We can chat for a sec. And I guess we probably start Snake Eater.
Man,
got-
people up early. I
Got
like
16 hours to go.
it. Fucking the commitment is good.
Time to beat says about 15 hours, or how long to beat says about 15 hours. I think
guys
we
are
could do it.
professionals,
I
yeah.
think we could do it way faster.
Yeah, like I could.
How many times you guys played that game?
Lot.
Twice.
Really?
Yeah.
Only twice?
Yeah, I don't actually own it. You lent it to me, and I played it once then, and I've since picked it up
heathen.
again. I don't. I played
This
it.
game's great.
I played it after the fact. I played it when Xbox.
Right.
Maybe not. I kind of have no excuse. Never mind.
Is it like a? I guess I'll see. But like, is it
Just
different?
sing along. What a
from
thrill!
The games, or
It's-
does it play like a Metal Gear game?
Plays
Plays
like a Metal Gear game. Not like 5 though. It is way different than
It's
5.
just significant. Well, I guess all games are
It's
shorter.
like-
right?
It's yeah. It's the longest.
I'm only comparing it to the fucking fifth one. I
Yeah.
guess.
No,
Is my
it
own-
doesn't
Plays
play like that. It
Much
plays
differently from that
way
one.
worse because video games were just old.
Yes.
And
Gameplay wise, yeah, it's much worse.
fucking swapping camo.
Yeah,
is
there's
a
that
nightmare.
stupid system, and like the injury system fucking sucks too.
Rock paper scissors is always a fun meme.
But like it's literally like an interactive movie. Like you watching it,
That's kind of what I figured it might be.
Yeah,
Less than 4, less than the other Metal Gears. I think there's more to do and play.
Yeah.
You have to hold the up button and climb that ladder.
yep.
We're all gonna sing the theme song together.
Honestly, I feel like, just to respond to JoJo, I feel like a nap would do more damage to me now than it would help.
Yeah, it's true. If you go down
Fuck me
now,
up,
see you in
dude.
8 hours.
It would
Yeah.
fuck me up.
Yeah.
I had a nap. I did like so yesterday. I got off work rather late, like 6ish. Got home at like 7ish. Had a quick supper. Laid down for a nap for like 20 minutes. I was energized, and then I was able to go out and stay out till like 11. And then I went home, had another like hour and a half nap, and I'm good.
Here you are now.
Yeah.
Good for now.
I'll run out
for now.
later.
Yes. You
But I mean,
time.
you peter out towards
if,
the finish
if
line.
we're not like gonna be persecuted for naps, I will totally go down for like a 15.
No, you
20
will
minute
be.
nap.
Of course
The
you will.
people, the people on the extra. The whole thing is you're signing up for a 24-hour.
Sure.
It's like doing a marathon.
Yeah, and then just
If you
make sure
cop
the
out,
camera is
you have to
on
give all your
Oliver.
pledges. You
I can-
personally have to pay out
I
all
can
your pledges
literally
back.
play into
Literally.
a cutscene in that fucking game,
Nah.
doze off for like 20
Yeah,
minutes.
probably
Like,
wouldn't
"Hey, I'm
even
in, I'm
notice.
back," and
Wouldn't
then,
even notice.
Yep.
Or we just keep tabs, and forever how long you sleep, you have to keep streaming at the end of it
Oh, at
for
the
that,
very end,
that
just
amount of
tack
time.
it on.
Either
at the
that,
end.
or we can schedule nap time into the stream and then have all our listeners and,
not
and people
napping.
watching.
I'm here for a 24-hour
They can go
video
down
game
for a nap
stream.
as well.
I didn't realize
Zapping
this
for
was.
suckers.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't realize this was Extra Life for kids. I mean, it is for the kids, but it's not. You know what I mean. Okay, we're gonna hot swap this internet cable into the other computer, and everyone's gonna pick up their mic, and we'll see. The stream will go down, come back up. We'll see you in just a sec. Oh, I just turned it off.
That might have to be a spend at some point.